Welcome to our brand new TTRPG series. We're doing a little mini campaign of Part-Time Gods 2nd Edition, which is by Third Eye Games. Very great game. Very excited to show it off to you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, before we jump into the game tonight, let's talk about all the awesome people that we have playing with us. We're going to go ahead and let's just introduce just yourself as a person. We will do character introductions a little bit in, since it's our first time introducing the characters. And Tori, we'll go ahead and we'll start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You said we're not introducing characters.
Not characters, just yourself as a person.
Okay.
Take the wig off.
Okay, now hang on. Let me take the lipstick off too. I'm Tori. I am part of the Level 1 Geek team. That's pretty much it. I like playing these kinds of games. I'll leave it there.
Fantastic. Thank you, Tori. All right, let's go on next over to Nathan. Nathan, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure thing, yeah. Nathan, one member of the Knights of Bastille. We're a little company that makes mobile apps for role-playing games. Got some like NPC apps and stuff. Mostly all an effort to play more RPGs. It's really what it's about. So, that's me.
Happy to have you. And if you guys caught our last series of Vaesen, the character art that we used in that game was from the app NPC for Hire. So pretty awesome. Good app.
Yeah, I guess I should say last time I was on Level 1 Geek was X.
That's true.
Tabletop Treasure Hunters. So glad to be back. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Returning hero. Very excited. Glad to have you, Nathan. All right, Bill, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hello, I'm Bill. I'm a podcaster. If you like escape rooms, I have a show where we have guests play through audio escape rooms called Escape This Podcast. If you like murder mysteries, we have a show where we write and solve and try and do murder mysteries called Solve This Murder. So go check them out. That's what I do.
It's good stuff. Good content. You saw Bill last time with Vaesen. Glad to have you back, Bill. I'm Chase. I'm playing the Game Master for this campaign. And I'm also part of the Level 1 Geek team with Tori and Em. And also in the background, we have a big thank you to Katie. She's pushing all the buttons. She's going to be keeping an eye on chat and taking care of you guys tonight. So big thank you to Katie. And speaking of chat interactions, number one, chat, everybody who's here, thank you so much. We're glad to see you guys around. We've been on a little bit of a hiatus and taking a break after Vaesen. So I'm a little rusty. Haven't run a game since Vaesen, I don't think, because I've just been doing break things. So it's been a nice rest. Excited to get back into it and excited to see you guys here again. So chat interactions. Now we have a command if you guys want to take a look at these chat interactions. I think it's *interact. But since it's our first session using these, I'll tell you a little bit about them. You guys can see on our overlay here, we have the Pantheon and the Cursed with a whopping 9 already. So I see you guys are diving right in. Now, Pantheon dice are actually part of the Part-Time Gods game. The players can generate these to an extent themselves, usually by utilizing their curses, which are creating some not so ideal moments from weaknesses with their characters. But you guys can also donate some Pantheon dice with our channel points, and the characters can use these to do various things. They can use them to tag team with the entire team on skill checks. They can add extra dice. They can modify dice to an extent. And they're just all around helpful. So Pantheon dice, great. Players love to see them. Curse dice can also be helpful, or they can be really helpful to me. They can be used to add extra dice if our players choose to use them. But if our players do choose to use the curse dice and they succeed on the roll by adding extra dice, then I'm going to add a twist to their success, which is usually going to be not so ideal. So it will be a success with a twist. And then if they don't use the curse dice and if they're just sitting there in a pool, I will start using them with enemies or using them to do some narrative things that will add some complications. And then if you guys see these little circles that we have here next to our names, those are for worshipers, and you guys can be worshipers of these gods if you would like. You guys can donate worships by using bits, by subscribing, by gifting subs, or by being Patreon supporters. And if you guys do those things, make sure you shout it out to Katie, and she will start filling up these little bubbles with worships, and then the players will use them during the next session. They can use them to get experience to get more worshipers. They can use them to restore fragments, or they can use them to get a whole bunch of Pantheon dice. And unlike Vaesen, where you guys did sponsors, you guys can also give some worshiper points to me as well. and I will do some fun, nasty things with bad guys in the future session. And then also, in addition, if you guys do give worships, we will shout you out in the next stream from the perspective of the gods in a fun little way. We'll use your Twitch name and we'll turn you into a worshiper, and we'll give you a shout out. It'll be a fun time. So, excuse me, that's what we've got for you guys tonight. So we love having you guys interact with the stream. Makes it super fun. So we hope you utilize that. And in fact, you already are. So big thank you to the already 13 dice in there. I already see some subs and some bits. Much love to you guys. You help us do what we love to do. So thank you.
And there's all these fun new raiders.
We're apparently everyone is now a hot dog princess in addition to part-time god. So
I have to rewrite my entire character. This is so difficult.
How intense.
Welcome, awesome. Roll D5.
Yes, welcome. Thank you, Raid. Hype to see you here. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for all the love. Just lots of chat hype. Appreciate you guys. Okay, well, I think without further ado, I think that we can kick off this campaign, and I think that we can jump into it. So we got some character descriptions and introductions to do. So this game, just to kind of give the setting to all of you guys who are not familiar with the game, we are playing this in a modern day California. Not a fully accurate California. There's going to be some locations that don't exist, and we're twisting it to a little bit of modern fantasy, but the general idea is that it's going to be in modern day California, and all of our players are playing the roles of modern day gods. And in part-time gods, the reason it's called part-time gods is because modern day gods are not as beaming with power as old gods of mythology. They're not omnipotent. They're not all powerful. They are certainly powerful and fantastic in their own ways, but they're also partly immortal, and their powers are more limited than gods of old used to be. And that was due to their divine sparks weakening over time through some unknown sources and through some wars amongst each other, and through people just not worshiping and believing in gods as much. So with modern day gods, they are grounded to the world by also being partly mortal and managing their mortal lives. If they don't manage their mortal lives, they can start losing themselves and their powers, and eventually they can lose their spark, or they can just completely lose it. So it's important to them to keep mortal connections. Now, modern day gods are immortal to an extent. They are immortal for 100 years. After exactly 100 years, and nobody is quite certain why, their spark will pass on to another forcefully. They can choose to gift the spark to somebody else ahead of time, or if they are killed and the spark does not make it back to them, the spark can go to somebody else. There's ways that it can end. And there's also some more sinister ways that their immortality can be extended, such as by consuming the souls of other gods and some dark rituals, but those things are very highly frowned upon.
You'll see them on the stream. We'll do it.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, so that's kind of what this game is all about, is maintaining their mortal lives. And now, gods are not widespread knowledge. There are people who believe in gods, whether it's through faith or because they have seen it firsthand or because the gods have shared it with them. But as a general rule, gods don't like to make it wide known that they have powers and they can do these incredible things, because there are forces out there that are trying to take the sparks of the gods. There are things called outsiders. There are creatures that hunt them and want to consume their sparks. And also people who know of the existence of gods are generally more in grave danger, kind of with great power comes great responsibility type thing. If you know somebody is powerful, you're a loved one to somebody powerful, then it puts them in danger. And it can just cause a lot of chaos. So gods generally will try to keep things low key, though there are people out there who know their existence. And I think that's really all you need to know for the setting. So let's go ahead and let's jump into where we're going to start this campaign. Now, all of you are fairly new gods. You've maybe been gods for a few years, maybe even less than a year. You've gone through enough to understand that you obtained a power. You understand your power. You know where it came from and how you got it. And you've kind of gotten through your bumpy phase of learning how to be a god. But you are by no means vastly experienced. There are gods out there that are far more powerful than you. And you're still kind of learning how things work to fine detail. So gods will often form a pantheon. And a pantheon is a very physical thing that is formed through rituals, where once you form a pantheon, you kind of form a little god family, so to speak. You share powers of your territories, you can share powers with each other, and it can generally be a very good thing to do. Most gods will seek pantheons because in numbers they're safer and they're more powerful, honestly. So you guys are just barely starting to form your very first pantheon. You've met each other in the past, and we'll get into how that happened shortly. But as of right now, you guys have kind of gotten the initial steps done. You have made the commitments to each other to form a pantheon, and you've gotten to the point where you can share power and you are more powerful around each other, but you haven't gotten through all the details of combining your territory and finished all the rituals. Now, you guys all have, haven't finished all the paperwork, so to speak. Now, you guys all have a mutual acquaintance. Her name is Elise Silva, and she is the goddess of commerce. She's been a good friend to all of you, and she's been very helpful to teaching you the ways of godhood. And she has asked that all of you meet her down on Zigo Bay. They have a very nice little harbor there and a pier with fine dining, and it's a good meeting spot. So she has requested that you all meet there, and she's going to discuss your territory and your assets and talk about finishing the rituals for you to officially form a pantheon. She is in tune with a big network of ritualists that can help you do it. So that's where we're going to start this campaign, is all of you guys heading down to Zigo Bay to meet with Elise. And so let's talk about where you guys live. Now, we're going to talk about these different locations. Part-Time Gods uses a territory grid, and this is kind of like a general map of where locations are and related to other locations. So, let's talk with you first, Andrew, because I think that there's going to be a limo coming to pick you all up to take you to Zigo Bay. And I think that you're the furthest north. Where do you typically reside? Do you have a home? Do you reside at one of your landmarks, or where are you generally going to be found?
So Andrew is the god of awards. He's also a firefighter. I spend a lot of time going, I don't know what are regional terms and who says firefighter and who says fireman. I would say he's a fiery, if that helps. Not the Australian term. He's a fiery.
I can tell you that is not the California term.
He's a firefighter. And so I think a lot of the time he actually sleeps at the station when he's sort of always on duty. He does have an apartment somewhere, but he doesn't usually see it. It goes unoccupied most of the time. So I think he's probably based at the station, sleeping. It's a classic firefighter situation. He's sleeping in a bunk bed on top of right near the pole where you could slide down if you get called in. Whether that's a real firefighter situation, I don't really care. That's his firefighter situation.
Excellent. I love it. Okay, so you're going to be picked up at the fire station. I'll add a location for this. We're going to say that's probably somewhere between the homeless shelter and your faithful, which are some of your worshipers, and where they're based. So, it's probably just afternoon, getting ready to go get some lunch with Elise and talk details. And she sends a very nice limo to the fire station to pick you up.
Which 100% gets a lot of, oh, nice one from all the other firefighters.
Yeah, probably a pretty odd occurrence.
Fancy guy. Hey, nice limo. Like a lot of that.
I love it. Get a little teased for it. So you hop in. There's a very nicely dressed limo driver who gives you a nod and doesn't really say much else. And as we're driving you to pick up the others, why don't you tell us a little bit about Andrew? You've already started telling us a bit. Tell us what Andrew looks like. I got some character art I can pop up for you here.
Yeah.
And then let's also talk about how Andrew ascended and why you're joining this Pantheon. And you can talk about maybe any relationships you have with some of the other characters.
Yeah, sure. So Andrew is a firefighter. He's actually he's from Scotland. He's been living in California for a while now, maybe 7 or 8 years living in California, which is great because it means when you attempt a Scottish accent, people are like, that doesn't sound right. You're like, that's just because he's losing it because he's been in California for 8 years. Any inaccuracies where you're like, hey, you said one word like you're from Glasgow and another word like you're from Edinburgh and another word like you're from like Birmingham. That's not even in Scotland. I'll be like, that's just what happens when the accent gets lost to it. It's perfectly accurate to someone who's been living in California. And Andrew came over just, to see America because it's a place to be. And he's a firefighter, and one of the big reasons is combined with his dominion. He is the god of awards. His uncle, who he thought was his uncle, but is in fact his great uncle, beforehand was the last god of awards, and part of that being the god of awards isn't about winning awards. That's not what a god does. It's about letting other people win, and how do you do that? How do you make sure people are able to win, are able to excel? Is you help, you keep them alive, you keep them safe, you keep them thriving, and there's lots of paths to that. His uncle was a paramedic, but he is a firefighter, because no one can become a world-class javelin thrower when their house burns down. And he's going off. He has some overlap with the world of commerce as well. So this is probably why he knows Elise. Elise, did I make that name up? No, Elise. In fact, I'm actually part of a local Better Business Council that gives awards to local businesses in this part of California. So there's probably some crossover there where they met to parley with the god of commerce to make sure everything was going smoothly. But yeah, you can see him. I think he's a big, burly man, long, like red hair, big red beard, very happy, lovely guy. And yeah, he's off. A Pantheon is nice. A Pantheon is about working together to help each other, to grow our own strengths. And it's the same sort of thing that drives healthy competition. Teams working together, working off each other, allowing each other to succeed at the things they're good at. A Pantheon fits. Not many people want a god of awards. So he's done this more on personal connection than the power. No one's like, I am the god of thunder. What are you the god of? Oh, I'm god of awards. So you want to? Oh, yeah. So he's glad he's found two people that he's worked with before. He knows them. I won't go over both, but I do know that one of our gods is the god of wireless communication. Is this the wording that I want?
Yeah, it's close enough. We're still discovering his true powers, but yeah.
We have worked together, making sure I parlayed with him as well before a very important esports competition to get some sort of guarantee there'd be no drops in latency to even the playing field. You don't want lag on one side. You don't want so there's a lot of communication there to make sure that people could prove who was the best rather than be able to use the internet as an excuse at any point. So that's at least that's how we met.
But the hardest part of striking that deal was explaining to Will what esports are. And what's
right,
that?
Like you take normal sports, right? But it's the same thing, but you're doing it like online. Online, sports. You just put the two things together. That's all you do. Yeah, I know. No, not e-sport, like the E for. Well, it's not E for internet. I don't know what the E is actually for. Should be iSports, I think. I don't know, but that's just keep the internet on. That's all I'm saying.
All right, if you just stop talking to me, I'll do it.
All right, I'm happy with that arrangement. All right, I'll see you later. So this is Andrew Stewart, and I won't let Tori go over the bird connection at a future point.
I love it.
I'm in the limousine. I'm talking. Can I get in the front of the limousine?
Oh yeah, sure.
Can I hang with the driver?
Yeah, the driver won't seem to care too much.
It's a big
he's
car.
Pretty down to business, but he just gives a nod.
So do you drive here often? Do you live here, or do you commute in? Do they let you commute in the limo, or do you have to leave it and then take your own car back home? Probably, right? It'd be weird. Do you?
I have a shorter car for myself.
A shorter car, all right. That's good. I have a longer car myself. It's the
luxury
bus.
sitting in the back. There's drinks.
Oh, that's it. I'm happy up here. I can get in the back, but there's no one to talk to.
Well, I'll chat with you then.
Tell me your name and your backstory. How many children do you have?
He gives you a very in-depth backstory about his two kids. His name, though, is Alex. Alex
Limo.
Baker. John Limo. Fantastic. All right, so you get picked up at the fire station, and the limo goes driving down south, And we're probably going to be coming up somewhere near you first, Will, because your territory is kind of in the middle between the two. Now, your territory is all about to be kind of one big combined territory for Pantheon, but as of right now, you've had your own individual territories, and they were all kind of close to each other, which is probably in part what caused passing and talks of Pantheons. That probably contributed, I would imagine. But where do you generally reside? Where are you most likely to be picked up by a limo? Do you have a home? You can get picked up from work?
Will be a short walking distance from the aviary and of course Jane's stationery,
which is his place of work. Yes,
his place of work. He just, when he's not at Jane's Craft and Stationery, he's walking the streets, often going to feed the birds as he does. He's attempted on more than one occasion to catch one of these birds to turn it into a messenger pigeon, which put him on the radar of Noel, but we've since smoothed that out. So yeah, let me give a little background here on Will.
Yeah, let's do it. The limo comes rolling up. Andrew's sitting in the front seat with the driver.
Yeah,
got
Will
some fancy back seats.
Sees Andrew in the front seat and waves, but intentionally takes the back. He's not going to try to slide in there or anything like that.
That's good. There's not much space left in the front.
Good. He'll pull out some crochet work and just quietly knit in the back. So let me tell you a little about Will. He is an old timer. From the old world, old town, old place. He so far ago that he's not sure exactly where he came from. But anyway, let me tell you about how he ascended or transcended here to get his powers. He had an avid pen pal, and he wrote this pen pal so if maybe some of you went to elementary school and they're like, here, you can have a pen pal with someone from another country. Did that? He signed up for that, but it created a lasting back and forth that went for many, many years. Until some time passed when the communication stopped. And this is like a pillar to his persona, is this pen pal. And when it stopped, it crushed him. And in his effort to find out what happened to his pen pal, he went to a Best Buy, bought a computer, and attempted to contact them. And just so you know where Will's coming from, he did not buy a router. He didn't plug it in. He just assumed that this computer could connect him to his friend. And in his effort and his desires are what transcended him into this wireless communication. That is still an unchecked box, though. His latest leads have led him to California, but still unfound pen pal. He continues to write to the last known address, but they continue to be returned to him. And that's Will.
Wait until the big bad of this right at the end reveals has been your pen pal the whole time.
Yeah, pen pal. Pen pal Pearl. Pearl is the name of the pen pal. A couple other details. He works at Jane's Craft and Stationery. He has incredible penmanship. That's what got him the job. And he mostly just hangs out. There's a group called the Cougars of some older women that come and do crafts. They've taught him to crochet and some things.
Are they self-named? Did they name themselves that, or is that what they're known as? Okay.
And they have jackets and everything.
Oh wow.
And they're knitted and stuff, But yeah, it's like a real deal. They're always hitting on Will, but he's like, look, I got my pen pal, but they're good friends. So. Anyway, there's Will.
I love it. Fantastic. All right, so we've got Andrew riding up front. We've got Will riding in the back, doing some knitting, and limousine comes rolling down to your territory, Noel. And where is it that you generally reside? Where would you be most likely to be picked up by a limo?
I think I'm at the bird sanctuary. If this is a normal time of day.
Yeah, why don't you give us a little visual image of the bird sanctuary and then tell us a little bit about Noelle as she joins the limo.
Yeah, so this is an aviary. It is open to the public. Sections of it are, but they also do some rescue work and like rehabilitation. So there are parts of it that are, just for staff and volunteers to, help nurse birds back to health. They have they can accommodate a great many birds. They're not strictly a raptor sanctuary, though they do take in raptors. They take in small birds, seabirds, just birds of all kinds. And so Noelle spends most of her time there as a volunteer. She doesn't really have a traditional job. She's kind of an influencer, not really because that's her intention. She was a contestant on a survival reality show about a year ago, and she was a fan favorite on the show. She did not win, thanks to Andrew, because during this show, she was actually when she ascended. It was during a challenge where the contestants were asked to eat various, foods of disgusting varieties. And she was
Rubs and the like.
Yes, exactly. And Noelle, just as a normal mortal, didn't have a particular issue with this, but it was still gross and not really her. She was kind of struggling through it alongside everybody else. But during this experience, she doesn't quite understand how or why, but she ascended, and suddenly this was no challenge at all. In fact, even the food and the different bugs and insects and creatures and stuff that she had to eat didn't just taste good. They fueled her with this insane power. Then she just felt really good. And so it was a very ascendant and transcendent experience for her. And she was using that power to really propel herself through the rest of the competition when Andrew, of course, showed up to let her know that the contest was no longer fair since she had divine powers and was competing against mortals. So she agreed to basically throw the competition, but she was so dominant for a long time that she grew a fan following, and many people have continued to follow her presence even after this competition ended. So like I said, she just kind of floats from press obligation to press obligation, sort of making what income she needs to that way, but prefers to spend most of her free time volunteering with the birds. So yeah, that's Noelle.
Fantastic. Love it. All right, yeah. You exit your bird sanctuary, you get a notification. Now, this is modern age, so, you all have access to cell phones and the like, so communication is pretty fluid, especially since, you have a god of communication in your soon-to-be Pantheon.
And he doesn't have a cell phone, by the way. It just...
That's so interesting. I love it. So yeah, you go join the limousine. Andrew in the front, Will in the back, doing some knitting. And you guys are all assembled and headed off to the harbor at Zigo Bay. Any other discussions you think you guys want to have before we move to the next scene?
Do we know anything about why we've been called in? Just like this'll finalize all your rituals.
Yeah, you're going to be discussing rituals to finalize combining your territory as part of the Pantheon. Because although it's pretty common knowledge amongst the gods that they can form pantheons and whatnot, not everybody, especially newer gods, know how the rituals work. And so Elise runs a nice little organization to take care of all of the work for people.
For a tidy fee, I assume.
Depends. She does some teachings for charity, or she will take funds to take care of all the work for you. So that is one of the things you'll be discussing on the docket. All right.
Are there any snacks in the limo?
There are. Yeah, there's some, nice little cookies and some drinks, both alcoholic and not. There's some fancy champagne.
Bowl of fried worms.
Noelle dives into the little snack cabinet they have in the limo. She's not real talkative, so she mostly just ignores Will in the back and is on her phone. But then she sort of looks at Will and thinks twice and puts her phone away. Because she's like, I don't know, I don't really want him knowing what I'm doing on here, and I feel like he can. So she'll just quietly snack in peace.
So we got an awkward back seat, and we've got a chatty front seat with the limo driver.
That's it.
I love it. All right.
Do you want to join the Pantheon? You can be one. We can do it in 4. We can have all 4 of us doing it. You're the god of limos or something, right? You could join as well.
I'm no god worshiper.
All right, but if you get a spark, give me a call.
Perhaps one day she'll share one with me. That's the hope.
You could take it. You could take it from her. You could beat her up and take her spark. Devour her soul.
He looks at you very panicked.
No, don't do it. No, please don't. It's not a good idea.
Gives kind of an awkward laugh, assuming you're joking.
You're right. I am.
Excellent. All right. Yeah, you guys go pulling up to the beach. You got the beautiful California view of the ocean. It's a nice warm day. We're probably somewhere in like early June. The air's got some nice humidity and the crisp, clean smell of the ocean blowing on a breeze toward all of you as you exit the limo. And Zigo Bay is not a huge bay. It's just a bit south of LA, down the beach. And you see a nice pier with some restaurants off on it. And there's some cute little tourist shops and whatnot around the area. And you guys gotta take a nice little walk across the beach over to the pier. You're meeting just outside of a little coffee shop, is where Elise told you to. Limo driver bids you farewell. And I assume you guys are heading over to go meet Elise.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. You guys head over to the pier, and you guys can see Elise. As I said, you guys have all met her before. She is sitting down. She sees you all approaching as a group. She's wearing very nice white and gold trimmed clothing, a nice dress, business casual. She's got herself already a cup of coffee and some sort of plate in front of her. She stands up with a smile and goes walking up to shake all of your hands. Oh, hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Glad you could all make it.
Will gives his crochet work to Elise. I made you an oven mitt.
Oh, that's so nice of you. Thank you. She gives you a very gentle hug.
Noelle, I didn't bring a gift.
Oh, not
We
necessary.
weren't
That's
supposed
just
to bring
Will being a
gifts.
sweetheart.
That's just Will being a weirdo.
Okay, I didn't want to be the only one without a gift. It's fine if you didn't bring one.
Now, it's wonderful to see you all together as a group. Excited about the new Pantheon?
I think so. I think we're all excited.
It's a great move. I think it's going to be absolutely fabulous for you all. I'm so excited that you're taking the step. Now, is this everyone? Just the 3 of you?
So far.
They do tend to grow over time.
They do. Well, the bird lady keeps scaring the others away, but
Will,
this should be good
I
for
have
now.
a name.
Ah,
We've
Noelle.
met
Yes.
like a bunch of times.
It is true you are a bird lady, though. Like, he's not wrong.
I guess.
You see, this kind of communication, it's only going to improve the longer you're part of a Pantheon. It really brings us closer.
Well, I don't really see how it could get any worse, so I suppose you're probably right.
What better place to start than rock bottom, right? Please, everybody, take a seat, order yourself some coffee or some food, and we can start discussing business.
It's a good pick for a cafe. You know, this place has the 3rd best coffee in the city.
Oh, that's what I've heard. Too many of those moon bucks going up everywhere. It's nice to see little independent places
Oh, I
like
see.
this.
It's like a Starbucks, but it's like an alternate universe thing. I get it.
Yes, exactly.
I was picturing currency that you spend in space.
Oh, that's such a fun pun. Well,
Andrew, what's the best dish on here? Can you tell things like that, or
No, I could tell which of these dishes is better than a different restaurant's same dish, but these dishes aren't in competition with each other. They're just different things. It's really about taste more than it is about
Most
competition.
people online are saying the scones are really good.
That is true. I saw that on Twitter. I didn't use any Pantheon powers for that. That's just on Twitter.
all right,
how
fine.
Which
fun.
you
We're
should be
using our
familiar with, I would
dominions.
assume.
I can
You're
tell you
big on-
that it's all a bit overpriced, but it's worth it.
Oh, look at you.
Well then, now, go ahead, flag down the waitress, and let's start getting some details out of the way. Now, first off, I assume you've all made the commitment to be a Pantheon. Nobody's having second thoughts.
I'm good. Noel, you're right. Sometimes I know your attitude is a little bit rough, but you're still good to join up, right?
The way I see it, you two will be way more of a pain if you're not working with me. So this works for me.
I can see
If you know her, you know that's a glowing recommendation.
I just love the energy you're bringing to this, Noel. Fantastic, yes. Okay, good. Well, I'm sensing no regrets, which is a good step. So now let's discuss how we're going to take care of this. Now, I have a pretty thorough network of ritualists that can help take care of this for you, but let's discuss. I mean, I'm always willing to teach. I can have my ritualist work with you if you would like. If you want to take care of the rituals yourselves, I'd be glad to teach you how. Well, the ritualist, not myself. I'm familiar with it. I've done it myself. I'm no expert, nor do I have the time to teach you all, but I do know the right people. Or, if you would like, for a fee, I can have my people take care of it for you.
I mean, I think if it comes
Good.
Oh, we can... Just 1 second, please, Elise. Hey, I
This
think if it
reminds
comes-
me, we are starting a new scene, so everybody needs to go ahead and reduce their free time by 1.
Bleh! My free time! Oh,
So it
no!
begins.
Oh, my free time! I've only got 4 now.
Pay for rituals. Can you help me understand what this ritual does exactly? This is how we form a pantheon?
Well,
Hey.
yes, I'm sure you've all realized that you can get very highly attuned to your mortal bonds and your places of residence. Now, that's powerful. We draw powers from that. Manifestations are more powerful near them, and that becomes sort of a physical bond to the area. Now, I have noticed, I know all of you, and I'm familiar with some of your territories. You're all having locations that are quite close to each other, which, as a pantheon, can be fantastic. You can increase that power whenever you're near each other's homes, but if you're not in a pantheon, you can start to clash, and it can cause some tiffs. I've seen some pretty dirty fights break out over territory. So,
Look, we're sold on the idea. You don't need to sell us the idea to the
Yeah.
Pantheon. We're here. We're ready to go.
oh, good.
It's just
Well,
whether we have
this-
the cash to pay you, or
This
whether we need to
issue
spend
of
the
a
time.
small fee.
Yeah, a small fee is a large fee for people like us sometimes. Although
I have
Noel,
to go home and get some cash from under my mattress, but
I
I
have
mean,
Venmo.
Will doesn't have a card. No.
no, I don't have a
Oh.
card.
That's okay. We can work out payment methods later. Now, my fee is somewhere around the realm of $1,000, but
That's a
I
lot.
can-
See,
I can teach you to do it yourself. It is just a bit time consuming.
Yeah, well, I'm a quick learner, so let's maybe begin now and get this over with.
Oh, it's not. I'm not going to teach you here on the spot, dear. I will set you up with the ritualists. It will probably take the good part of a week to get it all set up.
A week.
Yes, a tedious process, which is why we charge a very reasonable fee for getting it done for you. I
As a
personally would recommend
mechanical-
that way.
as a mechanical question, $1,000. What is that in wealth points?
So yeah, mechanically, you guys can choose if you want to have her take care of this for you. You can spend a consecutive 4 wealth, or you guys can spend a free time each to get this done.
And Will's all for the free time. My calendar's pretty open. I think that's fine. I think I might have to post bingo night, but this should be all right.
Oh no. What a tragedy.
She won't come.
I-
I've invited Noelle so many times.
She won't go.
She won't go.
No.
Fine, let's just get this over with.
Oh.
It's
it
when
yourselves?
you get a, what is it, like a 22? You say like 2 fat ducks. I think she takes offense.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I meant no offense.
Oh no,
But
no, sorry, the bingo thing. No, it's all right.
oh,
So
well,
yeah, let's spend some time. Save the money,
okay.
spend the time. That's what we got.
Sounds good. A little
Right.
DIY never hurt anybody. She pulls out her phone and she, starts tip tapping away. I'm just going to let my people know. But let me just have you. Why don't you all send me your availability? I'll have them in contact with you. I've let them know that you're interested, and it's out of my hands from here. They'll be reaching out and they'll be taking care of it. I just need to get a bit more preliminary information to send to them, just so they know what to come prepared. So, let's talk about assets. Now, I need to know about mortal bonds. I need to know about places of power for you. This is all open, right? I hope you're comfortable sharing with me. If you share with me, I can share with them. It makes everything go smoother. Let's talk about your mortal ties. Any special people nearby that we want to make sure are protected, included in the ritual?
I mean, look, I'm assuming we trust this woman, right? Like,
She's been a very good friend to you so
yeah,
far.
cool.
If you would like, you can roll
no,
for it.
no. It's no, well, let's do a roll. It's a game. Let's play with dice.
Yeah.
It's a game.
It sure is. So for this, why don't you go ahead and roll me an intuition plus discipline or deception?
All right.
May I help, Andrew?
Yeah. So if you want to help, you guys can roll as a group. Now, if you roll as a group, 2 of you can just combine the skill. One of you rolls one skill, the other rolls the other. If you want to go more than 2 and all 3, you can spend a Pantheon dice to have somebody else join the roll and add an additional skill.
What are you good at, Andrew?
I'm good at intuition.
Okay, I've got 2 in deception.
Oh, well, look at that. I've only got a 1 in deception, but I've got a 4 in intuition. And
Okay.
possibly, I'm just looking at my other cool elements. I might have a separate +1. Yeah. I have a thing that's like a specialty, but its examples are a bit more specific. But I think it's for judging potential and talents. I don't think I get it for this. So yeah, I'd be rolling 5 dice if I use my intuition and deception together.
Cool.
Will
You guys
Okay.
want to combine, or do you want to roll your own?
Let's combine.
Let's
Because I was
combine.
actually thinking the same thing. Noelle isn't quite sure about all this.
All right, so that means Bill, you'll roll your best of the 2, and then, or vice versa, and then.
I'll
Or
roll.
you'll
Yeah,
roll
I'll roll
yours.
the deception.
And now you roll a number of d10s equal to your skill, and then 7s, 8s, and 9s count as 1 success, and 10s count as 2. If you fail and if you don't get any successes, and you also get a 1 on the roll, you critically fail.
I got 2 successes.
I didn't get any, but I
But that
didn't get
means-
any ones.
Yeah, well, you combine it
Oh,
all
I
on
guess
this, that
we
means you
s-
guys
yeah.
consecutively got 2 successes. So
Yay!
you guys maybe share a glance or whatnot, and she does seem like she's being very honest. You don't sense a bad bone in this woman's body. She's being very upfront with you. She just seems genuinely wanting to help people.
All right. Well, I'm happy to go over some of my stuff. Is this a call for me to go through it so that the audience can hear?
Yeah, so I mean, she'll work out details with you guys here and all of your stuff. So yeah, why don't we just talk a little bit now? Now, bonds and entitlements are something in part-time gods. Bonds are very important mortal ties to the gods. They want to maintain the relationships, but it also goes both ways. They can help them in different ways. But if those bonds get damaged or if the relationships get harmed, it's devastating to the god because these are what keep them grounded. Entitlements are things like worshippers and vassals, which are kind of like familiars, sort of. Those are also useful, but they don't really devastate the gods if the relationships get harmed. So yeah, why don't we just talk a little bit about any fun entitlements, landmarks, bonds, anything you guys want to talk about?
Well,
Let's start with you. Yeah, let's go and start with you, Bill.
But I have too many bonds. I'm a very bond heavy build. I've min-maxed for bonds. I won't go too crazy into any of this for everybody because you want to hear a story. You don't want to hear me list a bunch of things on my character sheet. But I will say, obviously, I've got a nice bond with the rest of my fire crew. They're a lovely group of people, and they mean a lot to me. We're good friends. I spend a lot of time helping people. We talk about making sure people are prepared to succeed for competition. I want people to fail. People are going to fail, but they need to fail at a level playing field. And so part of that, I work at a homeless shelter, and so I have a set thing as a landmark with a local homeless shelter, the Open Arms Homeless Shelter, because people need to get back on their feet so they can then use those feet to compete with each other. I also have a previous person who's benefited from my grace. I don't tip scales, but I make sure things are even. And so a recent Booker Prize winner, author Mary Quinn, also lives nearby and is a personal friend. Another location where a lot of awards happen, a lot of minor awards. People think about big things. They don't think about the smaller scale stuff, but that's just as important. So the local Ocean View Convention Center, where a lot of conventions will have their like local business awards, best realtor awards, all that sort of stuff happens there. So that's a location where a lot of my power is sort of situated. Speaking of which, another group that I'm part of, they don't know I'm a god, but I am part of this group, is the local business awards committee. And also, recent winners of whatever competition they win, I don't know your sports, the Oaktown Jaguars, who play American football, they're the opposite of the Cougars. They're young men, but they're both big cats. That whole football team is another group that I have a connection with. So these are all my. I have worshippers as well somewhere in the city. A lot of people who pray. It's mostly when the Oscars are on. But that's sort of my whole run. So I got all these various people all throughout the city with connections.
Popular guy is Andrew.
I think sometime in this campaign we're gonna have to get the Cougars and the Jaguars together. Like it's gonna be one of Will's kind of like.
Let's get the Cougars as the
like a wild tailgate party.
Cheerleading squad for the Jaguars
for the crochet competition.
Yeah,
love it. Fantastic. All right, Noelle, why don't you tell us a little bit? I don't think you have a ton of bonds as they go, but why don't you tell us about yours?
I am the opposite of Andrew in this. Noelle will sort of reluctantly, I mean, I don't know, I've got like fans and stuff around. They're like pretty important, so
I've
be
met
cool.
one of your fans.
Cool.
It's me. I'm a fan. I loved you on that show. But yes,
yeah.
I suppose I will leave myself out of that. She's taking notes as you guys go over all of your entitlements.
Sure. I mean, yeah. So like, they're kind of like all over. And then the Wide Wings Bird Sanctuary. Like, we should probably include that place in this whole arrangement or whatever.
Definitely. That's one of your key landmarks, is it not?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I don't know. This isn't like I guess this isn't really that, but there's this condor that follows me around. So.
Oh, a vassal, perhaps?
Yeah, whatever. Pretty sure it can't die. So it's, like one of those.
Are you listening to this, Will? We get an immortal condor as part of our team. I don't know. Don't let her know, but I really want this. She's bringing a lot to the table because there's an immortal condor.
Yeah.
And then I have this thing, and this sash that she's wearing is not. It's subtle, so it can look like other clothing. And up to now, she doesn't wear a feather sash just around town.
She could. She's an influencer.
She could. She does sometimes reveal it, but not, in her normal day-to-day stuff. But she'll reveal it to you guys now, and what looked like just like a vest now is this grand sash that just has these deep, dark red and black feathers. And this is her relic.
The stitching on that is magnificent.
Do we get one of these if you join the Pantheon? Do we all get like a cool sash cloak thing?
Oh, I believe that's personal.
Ah!
Yeah, I found this on the island
We can borrow it,
on
though, right?
Last One Standing. So I'm pretty sure this is like for me. It's the
Yeah.
sash of the rock. It's named after a bird. Why would it be for the god of awards? Why would you borrow that?
Well, I just don't know why you mentioned it as part of the things we're bringing to the table. Like, it's a cool thing. I can do a handstand. Like, I don't know. I'll teach you,
Well,
though. Actually, I'll bring that
I
to the
guess
table. I'll
I'm
teach you all
bringing
to do a
myself
handstand.
to the table. So
Oh, that's true. No, that's true. And I suppose I can't really take the condor either, right?
Yeah, I don't think he'd listen to you.
Relics are kind of like living things in their own way. If you do ever want to share it, it's a bit easier to share it amongst a pantheon. I can't tell if you're being serious or not because you're so silly, Andrew. But
No, I'm
yes,
no. If we join up, we could borrow the cloak. That's interesting.
it is, yeah. And it'll be covered in the ritual.
It will be covered in
Cool.
the ritual.
All right. Well, don't count on borrowing
No,
this.
I'm not going to try to borrow it. Look, obviously you're wearing it, right? It'd be weird to literally take the shirt off your back. But
Well, if we're sharing things, Andrew, maybe you can borrow this.
ooh,
Ah, yes.
like
Why don't you tell us
hearing
about that and your other assets, Will?
Yeah, well, this old thing, I'm not sure. It's always been around. Helps me hear the things better. The voices.
How
is that
wonderful.
is that a magical relic, or is that just literally like an old man's hearing horn?
Well,
That feels quite powerful to me.
it feels magical because it can help me hear, I suppose. So yeah.
Right.
I think it's very
other-
magical as well.
Yes.
We'll find out.
Other bonds. Well, first, of course, the cougars. I wouldn't want any harm to come upon them. They're rather sweet. And Phyllis makes very good brownies.
Ooh.
Of course, then there's Karen. It's not Karen, it's Karen.
Cairn.
Oh,
Yes. She's
Like a
your
funeral cairn.
employer, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I see.
yeah. She's well, she's a young woman that is just trying to find her way in this world, and I think her family has forced her to work at the stationery store, and well, she does help me with some of those little knickknacks online, the acronyms. You see, she helps define some of those for me.
It's a lovely
And-
store. I've been.
Then
I do
the store, of
dioramas.
course-
I get all my supplies there.
You'd think
Yeah.
with a name like Karen, she would have found her way by now.
Yes, Noelle.
Noelle cracks the tiniest of smiles and then just goes back to eating.
Then the store, of course, and you can see Will get a little uncomfortable. And then there are the voices.
Oh,
Well,
Voices.
the voices, yes, the ones that you hear, the lost souls of the those people who are sitting and waiting for their internet connection to finally come through. I can hear them all the time.
oh no.
Ah, yes, yes.
And I feel obligated to do something for them.
Well, prayers are something that we must answer, and they can be oh so burdensome. I'm sure we've all related to that, though I'm actually not sure how much we all have. I can't help but notice all of you seem to be lacking devotees, worshippers, except Andrew, you mentioned
have a
you
few.
have some.
I have some followers. I have the faithful on my character sheet. It says the faithful, so I'm assuming I have some worshippers.
Well, if you ever need help improving your public image, I also have a business that can help with that. We can talk about that another time, but it's
Oh, you're
something
the
worth
god of
considering.
commerce. Stop trying to sell me things. Stop trying to upsell me, you god of commerce.
With my dominion, I am always fair. You can be assured of that.
You should take a Pantheon dice for the curse of always trying to upsell.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well then, let me just jot some final notes. She's scribbling furiously on like a little iPad with a stencil, filling in some notes, and she does a couple last aggressive taps. Why don't you guys talk about any? Give us some food descriptions. What some delicious treats or drinks that you're drinking at this coffee house?
Noelle has ordered an exorbitant amount of food.
Racking up a very big bill.
Yeah, and she's eating all of it. And if anyone kind of tries to like sneak, like, oh, look, can I, try a little piece of that? Like,
A little chip.
she
Just
gets
a little
kind of like a little animalistic. Like she at one point like kind of bares her teeth at Andrew when he like tries to like, can I just like try a little like scone?
All right.
And
Okay. I'm just saying birds don't have
goes-
teeth, so
goes back to
They
the
must
eating.
be good scones, Andrew.
we have established these are very good scones. I said the coffee was the third best in the city. The scones are the second best in the city.
Elise gives a little side eye to you when you get defensive over your food, Noelle. This is worth bringing up. Are you with the puck eaters, dear?
The what?
Puck eaters?
Oh, those
hockey team.
wackos. I mean, sure, I guess.
Well, we
I'm
don't have to
hungry
talk
all
about...
the time, if that's what you mean.
That does seem to be their thing. We don't have to talk about the orders you come with or what you follow. I know that that can be a very hot topic amongst us gods and cause some debates, but just remember, being part of a pantheon, that's part of the wonder of it. It encourages us to work together despite our differences. That doesn't have to go in the forms or anything. It's just a little bit of advice.
No, put it in the forms. It's good. Put it in the forms.
Yeah, sure. I agree
It's a
not
nice
to eat
reminder.
either of you.
Oh, that's good. Oh, wait. No, definitely put that in the forms. I thought that was unspoken. I don't like the fact that it's been spoken now, like it wasn't true an hour ago. So put that in the forms, please. Make it
I'll
written.
make sure it's added to the ritual.
We're jumping straight from unspoken to fully written down in the meeting. Binding statement from this meeting, please.
Like, without your permission. I mean, we should add that.
I don't think we know that can remain unspoken.
Well, you never know. You never know.
Yeah, if you're talking about borrowing this thing I never take off, then I think we should at least add in without your permission. We should allow for the possibility that maybe at some point it would become relevant for me to eat a small piece of you.
That does seem fair.
No,
Seems
okay,
like a
cool.
reasonable friend.
I think consent is key. You can put at the start of the whole thing. Point 1B, 1A, don't eat me. 1B, consent is key.
Yes, Noelle can eat me with my consent. When I give it.
Don't
If-
don't
Yeah,
write it that
it's
way.
Starting to get, no, don't, yeah, it's starting to get a little bit weird.
I will word it very legal. Don't worry.
All right.
All right. She finishes jotting down everything on her tablet and does a very excited tap of the iPad once she's done. I think we've got it all settled. All the details that are going to be needed to be shared have been shared with the people that need to have them. So you're not going to need much else from me. There's no fee. This was all free out of the goodness of my heart. Just keep me in mind if you need future business endeavors.
Well, of course. Who else would we go to?
Nobody better, that's for sure. Well then, I'll be taking the limo back with all of you if that's okay. I
Okay.
flew in, I had some other business to attend to, but I look forward to just some friendly chat now. Business is done, and the associates will be reaching out to you. So, shall we?
All right. That's cool.
Excellent. Yeah. So she'll walk with you guys. You guys head back across the beach towards the parking lot where you arrived in the limo. You can see it parked off in the distance. The beach is pretty busy currently. It's a nice day out. There's people playing in the water. You see some surfers out on the ocean. Parking lot's packed. There's some traffic going through the different shops and whatnot. Kids playing around. And as you guys are crossing the beach to approach the limo, Noelle, as you're stepping forward, you can see there's a pair of sunglasses sitting in the sand. There's just some bright green, fun beach sunglasses. But you can't help but notice it looks like they're moving a little bit. And as you take a closer look, or as you approach closer, you hear a weird little giggle. And then you see some green ears pop up out of the sand with a big nose underneath the sunglasses. Some kind of strange little face is now wearing them, and it grins up at you with sharp teeth. Elise sees it as well. She does a little scream and jumps back. Oh, heaven's sake. And she goes to stamp her foot down on the creature, and it plops back down into the sand.
What is
Goblins.
this?
Nasty little pucks. Are you familiar with goblins?
I mean, like, in general, yes. Like, I think everyone knows what a goblin is.
Chase,
Well,
have I
you'd
ever
be
seen one
surprised.
before?
If you've seen one or not is up to you. You know what pucks are. Now, pucks are evasive little creatures that just like to cause mischief. They come in a lot of different shapes and sizes and varieties. Goblins are one of the varieties of pucks. They're known for having nasty little nonsensical contraptions and for really getting on people's nerves to the point of like madness. But yeah, they're a type of puck. So you've probably heard of them before. I don't know if you've encountered one though.
I want to dig. I want to dig for it.
Okay.
In the mythos of part-time gods, are this the sort of thing where like the puck would appear and all the people would just be like acting normal because they can't see supernatural creatures, or is everyone on the beach going to be like, "Oh my god, it's a freaking goblin," and just start running? Like,
So that is a good question. Now, supernatural creatures, other people can see them, and so
Cool.
most of the time, if a supernatural creature is not disguising itself, it can cause a panic.
all right,
Pucks,
cool.
though, are notably elusive to mortals. Like they are very good at not being seen unless they want to be seen. But if somebody was to actually spot one, yeah, it would cause a little bit of a
Yeah, they'd be like, "That's a creepy little goblin man."
yeah. All right, so you go to start digging for it, Noelle. Elise kind of scratches the back of her head nervously. Listen, Noelle, dear, you want to deal with this right now? I know that they can be pretty annoying, but if this is to cause a scene, I don't know if I want the PR nightmare.
It's the beach. People
Yes.
dig in the sand.
But do they typically pull up a little green humanoid creature?
In California.
As you look back to talk to Elise, you see a little green foot kick out of the sand and it kicks some sand in your eyes.
Oh, it's
Goes and
on.
plops
I
back
don't
out in the
care,
sand.
scene or not. I'm going for this freaking puck.
Are
No,
there,
I like- I
are there
think I
like
like it
beach
more.
chairs? Like beach chairs around?
Yeah, there's lots of beach chairs around.
Will sits down and gets his needlework out.
Excellent. All right, let's have you roll something here, Noelle. Let's have you roll. You're trying to grab it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, number one, these are fast, so let's have you roll a speed, and then I think let's have you roll a fight. Let's have you roll a fight, or an athletics or fight plus speed. I'll let you choose which one.
Great. I'm good at both of those. Okay. That is going to be 7 dice for me. I can pull Pantheon dice, right?
You sure can.
We
Yeah,
haven't
so-
used it yet, so maybe
Yeah.
I'll
Sitting
grab-
on a handful of them. How many we got over here? We've got 4
Still got
Pantheon,
plenty of
9
cursed.
cursed.
I'll
Back
grab
to-
some cursed dice. This feels like cursed
Wow.
kind of roll.
All right.
Can I draw any number like we did with or is it only one per
You can
roll?
draw as many as you want.
Got it. Okay, I'll take 2.
Cool.
This is gonna be 9 dice for me.
All right, just try to be a bit discreet with it, dear.
If you don't want to be part of the scene, then maybe you should leave.
Oh, it's fine. I'm here to help.
Hang on. Give me the breakdown. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Very nice. Oh, I see. That's really dang. That's a lot of successes. So yeah. So skill difficulties range from 0 to 5. So 5 will almost certainly be a success. And in fact, you only needed a 2 to catch this thing. So that means you got a boost.
Yay!
And I'll let you take a look. I have a cheat sheet for all the players here. I have a list of things you can do with the boost. They range from adding more Pantheon dice, etc. So go ahead and take a look at those. And in the meantime, though, you do catch this thing.
Okay, great.
You yank your hands down to the sand. You grab this thing up there, and I can show you guys what it looks like here. I think I have
Ooh.
a token made for it. This one that you grab out of the sand actually isn't green, though. This one is kind of a bright purple color.
Oh, no.
But they're pretty dorky looking
Hey.
little weird things. Big razor sharp teeth. It's wearing a little loincloth that's just strapped over
hate
the
it.
shoulder.
I hate it.
And it is just it's screaming and struggling. Put me down! Put me down! What are
Okay.
you doing with it?
For my boost, I would like to do the opposite of style. Well, I guess it's sort of in the same vein of style, but I want to be subtle. Like I want to not cause a scene like Elise was worried about. If I can use a boost for that, maybe.
Yeah, sure. I'd allow it.
Okay. And then do I have to like for every 3 successes? Okay, so I got 1 boost, right?
1 boost, yep.
Right, perfect. Okay. It said put me down?
Yeah, it's struggling. It's spitting at you. It's hissing.
All the
What are
people on
you
the
doing
beach are
here?
walking past, saying, "What a terrible mother."
What are you doing here?
I'm thinking about eating you. That's what I'm doing.
No! Don't do it. I'm not even cooked.
Is that necessary? I've been told pucks taste pretty well raw.
Get a good whiff of me. I don't taste good.
Then why don't you tell me what you're doing here?
Friends, help!
All right, I'm gonna eat him.
I
I want to try to eat him.
cut off short. Yeah, you sure can. Pucks are like they compress, like they're like weird, like little agile, squishy creatures. Like you can just eat a puck whole. That's why you're called a puck eater.
Yeah. I didn't think
Excellent.
I would eat a puck in the first session, but I'm not mad about it. Do I need to roll?
Why don't you tell me how your ability works real quick? Let's give that a quick little read.
It's not really an ability. It's just. Oh, actually, I do. Hang on. JK.
You definitely have some sort of ability.
Cannibal behavior. Let me grab that from the book.
And by ability, it is called. It's a blessing of some sort.
Yes. Could you guys maybe? Why don't we go to Andrew and Will's reactions briefly while I find this?
Yeah, for sure.
I think our reactions are very similar to the pumpkin. What the hell?
At least just kind of she cringes a little bit.
I lean over to Andrew and say, "Our first adventure is a Pantheon. My,
Hey, it's a little bit strange. Just eat that thing."
is this what it means to be a god?
I guess I didn't know we could do this.
Now,
Will. Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, now, Tori, you can look up the details of this layer. I don't know if you have limits or not, but I do know there are like specific boosts you get for eating different creatures, and so I do have one that you get for this.
Okay.
Which is, and you can note this down however you want, but you gain an obnoxious taunt ability, and you gain it just for a scene. This is a temporary one, but you get a very expert way at picking up on people's reactions and weaknesses and things that they're going to be sensitive about. Like you just have intuition on how to very properly insult people.
Just become a real asshole, huh? For one scene.
Yeah.
Just for one scene.
You get a +2 bonus to your perception check to taunt people, and you can automatically bestow a condition against them if you succeed.
Wow. Okay. Sorry, I'm still trying to find the page. Oh, hang on.
You're good.
This is it.
Yeah,
I think that's it though. I get powers from nomming things.
You also get a minor physical change. So what kind of goblin-like feature do you take on when you eat this?
I want the teeth.
Okay. Yeah, you get this nice sharp teeth, and just your senses get heightened. Every little flaw on people is becoming pretty noticeable. Like you just know ways you can mock people. It's just coming to you like extreme wit.
Mean girl powers.
Yeah. Noelle shoves the puck into her mouth and like chews and then like when she finishes eating it, gives a very satisfied sigh and then like turns around, licking her now like sharp goblin-y teeth.
Elise has taken a handkerchief out of her pocket and is holding it to her mouth, trying to smile, but she clearly looks a little disgusted. Anyways, to the limo?
Yes.
Those are troublesome to mortals and gods alike, so I suppose you did a favor.
Don't remind her that wasn't the first one we saw, because that first one was definitely green. I thought so. There might be a second one. So let's just go
to the limo, and Elise goes hopping back towards the limo. But shortly after, as you guys start continuing again, I imagine you stand up out of your beach chair. And as you're standing up out of your beach chair, the chair actually gets lifted up slightly, and you can just see a rainbow of little arms jut out of the sand. Must be like 20 arms, lifting up Will's beach chair. And then you just see little explosions of sand all around the beach. And you see rainbowed poking ears with little angry eyes just all over the beach. Nobody seems to take any notice to it, but you guys clearly see a bunch of little angry goblins staring at you.
Will says, "Thank you," and guys, it maybe helps him up a little bit, I guess. But
I think we may have awoken something we didn't want to awaken.
He hobbles over to kind of standing behind Noelle.
I'm gonna look squarely at whatever the closest angry little face is to me, and like bare my goblin teeth, and say, "I've got room for more."
That one that you look at looks terrified and plops back down into the sand. But one just a little off in the distance from you, with kind of like a charcoal gray colored skin, stands up very proudly out of the sand, right next to a couple of mortals who don't seem bothered at all by it. This one's more toned, like it's got some bigger muscles than the rest, and it's got some kind of cord coming out of the sand. And it stands up. It's wearing some like studded spiked leather armor. And it gives you an angry look, and it pulls some sunglasses down over its head.
Oh, it's the cool guy.
You're gonna regret that. You're lucky we're here for a job that's not you.
How far off is this one?
It's like maybe like a good 15 feet in front of you. It's gonna shout, "Rookies, retreat! Warriors assemble!" And it's gonna rip that cord up out of the sand, and you hear like a revving like an engine, and there's like a big rumble on the sand under it, and then this big mechanical shark rises up underneath of it, and it mounts it like a goblin mounting a shark. And a bunch more of them rise up on the sand around you, and we're gonna go to break. And then we're going to enter initiative.
This is not where I expected it to go. We're having a basic business
What?
meeting.
You weren't ready for Chase to pull a sand shark and have a goblin riding it?
You shouldn't have eaten the goblin.
Or I should have, and this is exactly the right thing. We'll find out.
Yes, indeed. So chat, we're going to take a 10 to 15 minute break. We'll get ourselves an initiative, and then we will continue the story around 915 Mountain. We'll see you guys in just a few.
Bye.
All right. Welcome back, fellow geeks. Thanks for giving us a little bit of a breather there to take a break, refill our water, etc. When we last left off, Noelle ate a goblin puck and made a bunch more angry, and now they are rising out of the beach on mechanical sharks, and they look angry. And we are in an
I'm sorry, sharks plural? There's more than one mechanical shark?
Okay. Yeah, there's about 6 of them.
Goodness. All right. I missed that detail.
All right. So we did roll initiative off screen. Welcome back, everybody. Initiative is going to be Andrew, followed by Noelle, followed by the goblins, followed by Will, followed by Elise. So I think we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump right back into it. And Andrew, let's do our first combat round, yeah?
All right.
In this game, you pick a standard action, you pick a standard defense, and then optionally, you can pick a quick action or a quick defense. Now, we're doing initiative in a way where we just roll once and we keep that order. You can optionally on this game, you can do it where you reroll every round. For a stream, I find that burns a little too much time. So if you don't take your quick action, generally you get a +1 to your next initiative roll. What I'm going to do for this is if you don't take your quick action and somebody above you in initiative does, you'll bump up one spot in initiative. So
Sure.
Andrew, you can maintain yours if you don't take your quick, but like if Noelle was to not take hers but you did, she would bump ahead of you.
Sure. Well, I don't think I have a quick action that I want. They're not a huge amount of stuff to do as a quick action, I feel. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm wrong. But
It's
they're
very
often just
true.
like, just kind of hang around a little.
It's like, I mean, like right now, like if you have weapons and stuff, you guys kind of got caught off guard here, so you would
Yeah, I have
to
nothing.
draw a weapon, so, but yeah. Right.
So what I might do is I've got a standard action to cast to do. I'm going to try and use the godly power.
All right, excellent. A manifestation,
I'm
as it
using
were.
a manifestation.
Now you are
Also
in
adjusting the height of
territory
my chair.
adjacent to one of your landmarks, which means you are going to get
Yes.
+1 to your manifestation checks. So keep that in
Nice.
mind.
Who are we adjacent to?
You are. Let's see if we.
It doesn't matter if it takes 2 seconds
Yeah,
to check.
it's the Ocean View Convention Center. It's
Oh,
just
beautiful.
up north.
All right. So, I'm looking at my group of people here. I'm looking at a group of goblins and sharks, and I think what we need is a bit of strength to fight some sharks. And as the god of awards, I have a whole group of people. Anyone who's ever been given an award, anyone who's won, there's a huge collection of people with skills and talents and strength. And I can tap into that. I can exemplify that. I can take and borrow the skills of these people and use them just quickly, just a little bit for our own means, right? This is a divine fight. Using divine powers is perfectly fine. This is a level playing field. So I'm going to tap into the fact that last week at the very convention center I can see looming over us right now, there was a big collegiate wrestling meet. And all the best wrestlers from all around, strong, powerful. Everyone knows every wrestler's on steroids. It was Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. They're all on steroids. So we've got some strength. And so I'm going to try and siphon that, use that. The people who go to the gold medal winners from that competition, they cleared out the whole convention center, put mats down. It was great. And I'm going to try and
Fantastic.
manifest using Ruin. There's a skill under the Ruin manifestation called Warrior. You can empower your abilities. So I'm going to see what I can get success-wise and see what I can do with it.
Excellent. Yep. Remember to roll 1 extra dice for your territory.
Yes.
And then,
All right.
and then also remember that sacrifices are a thing you guys can do if you ever want to for manifesting. A sacrifice is you can say that you pull out something that you have on hand, and you can just assume you have it. You sacrifice it for the manifestation. It's going to give you a condition called on the altar, equal to the number of extra dice you take. On the altar doesn't hurt you, except that it takes one of your 4 condition slots. So, and then if you do 4 or 5 dice, you have to spend wealth because you're sacrificing something big.
Oh,
Keep in mind
all-
that's an option.
I'm not even worried about it. I'm rolling 6 dice.
Let's do it.
3 Ruin, +1 for the convention center, 2 for my might. We roll 6 dice. Ooh, I think I got 2 successes? 2 8s. Gets me 2 successes.
2
all
8s
right.
get you 2 successes. All right.
So I can divvy those successes into a couple of little places. For people who don't know this game, like me, whenever you do one of these godly skills, you sort of just assign your successes to various elements of it. And so the things I'd like to assign this to is I might put 1 success on number of targets, so I can make up to 3 targets stronger. So I'm going to get maybe I don't know if Elise is going to join the fight, but maybe she'll benefit more from strength than Will would. I don't know if he has a plan to throw down with these sharks. I think it might be me, Noelle, and Elise.
Excellent.
I'm just reading the room. I'm assuming you don't want to get in there.
Hey, he's not showing signs of getting real excited about this fight.
Yeah. And then the other one is to the modifier. So I'm going to basically make this a might modifier. We're going to get stronger. So with 1 success, I can make that 2 extra dice for any might-based checks.
Cool, because you're going to very specific instead of all
Going
combat.
a specific skill. It's not all combat, it's only the strength. So everyone gets a +2 to their might for the rest of this interaction. Or however long this lasts.
Fantastic.
Actually, I don't know the
The
length.
duration, you can have it, if you want to last a scene, you can do 1. And you got to commit at least 1 to this, otherwise it'll happen, it'll go away.
Ah, well, dang. Well, then... Oh, no, then with only 2 successes, I might only be able to hit.
Now, keep in mind, you
One of us.
could burn a
Can I-
fragment if
I
you
might
want to
fragment.
increase your successes.
I'm going to
Also-
use one of my 3 fragments to add how many successes to a manifest? Is it 2?
It is 2 to a manifest, yep.
Let's do it. I I really focus. I exert that extra little bit of power, and so I'm going to add 1 success to make it add effect for the whole scene, and another success, so it's actually a +4 to might. So we are strong, babies.
Excellent. So 3 targets, +4 might for a scene. Now, do you want to add a range to it, or are you gonna move up and be adjacent to those 2?
Oh, that's good use of my quick action.
There you go.
Yeah, no range, just adjacent. I touch you both on the shoulders, and I say, all right, I'm giving us all the power of recent gold medal heavyweight wrestler, Dustin Pond. That's his name. His name's Dustin Pond, and he's a great wrestler. And you can feel his strength inside you. So let's go.
Excellent. Does everybody get like noticeably more like buff?
Visibly bigger. You get visibly large, muscular frames for just a moment. Well, for
oh
the
heavens,
scene.
says Elise.
Will
right.
is like,
oh, Will, you didn't need anything. Look at you.
Now, what's your standard defense gonna be?
Do I have to pick that without knowing what people are doing? I suppose
You
so.
sure do. Yep.
I mean, I feel like I'm tucking in. I'm getting a nice tight stance. I'm ready to roll with the punches if a shark runs at me. I'm ready to sprawl if a shark tries to take out my legs. Got those wrestler defenses.
Excellent. All right. So that's a dodge.
Yeah, let's say it's a dodge.
Okay, cool.
Nice collegiate wrestling sprawl.
All righty. That is it for Andrew. So, Noelle, you're up.
Okay. I smile and sort of look at my Noelle was already in pretty good shape, but now she's looking even buffer, yeah. And she enjoys that. She smiles with her still pointy goblin teeth, and she will I'll spend a fragment to grow sharp talons. And yeah, so she just like Wolverine, whips her hands down, and it's a quick action, this particular ability that she has, and
I like it.
These big sharp raptor talons come out of her where her fingernails used to be.
Dang, ripped and with talons.
Yeah. And then I'm assuming I can do another quick action as a standard. It's like, okay. Then I will just I'm not in range of anything, so I'm just gonna move up to one of them.
Okay.
Noelle kind of glances sidelong at Will and is thinking he's not really up for this, so she's gonna stay to his side of the battlefield here.
Excellent.
I realize I don't know exactly what my movement speed is. Oh, 12.
Yeah, so you can move a number of squares equal to your speed is how we're going to play it. We're not going to worry about diagonals or anything, just a number of squares equal to your speed.
1,
we'll
2,
keep it
3,
easy.
4. Okay, that is within my speed. So yeah, I just rush up to this this little goblin puck thing. And then for my defense, now a quick you can't do a quick defense if you didn't use, or if you did use a quick action, right? It's
no, you can do both. You can do one quick defense, one quick action, one defense.
I got it. Okay.
All 4.
What kind of weapons do these goblins have, or are they just
have big old chomping mechanical sharks?
Oh, okay.
Now I say big; they're like the size of a dog. But like they got really sharp looking clanky teeth.
Got it. Okay. Then I'm going to brace. Okay. And do I want to do dodge or block? I guess I'll dodge since I don't. Well, no, I do have a weapon.
You sure do now that you got talents, yep.
Yeah, okay.
Natural weapons count as weapons.
Then I think I will block. Sorry. I mean, Sorry, everyone, for the bumbling along as we're figuring this out.
Combat. Yeah, we're all learning this game together, which is an important thing to mention.
Yes. Oh, you know what? It's the same number of dice for me, I'm realizing. So yeah. I will block because I don't want to give ground.
Sure. I like it. All right. That's it that's it for Noelle. All right. It is the goblins. And now, notably, you guys are now you're growing muscles, you're growing talons. There's goblins with sharks out of the sand. This should be causing a mass panic, but it is not. People don't seem like they're paying attention at all. In fact, there's somebody just that like walks between the conflict, like not even acknowledging it's happening.
If Will waves to that person, do they acknowledge him?
Yeah, they give you a friendly like little nod and then look back down at their phone and keep going.
Nothing to see here. Carry on.
And then with that, the silence is cut with a little goblin saying, "Charge!" And they are going to come charging in. These two are both going to use their quick actions to move up. And then they are going to chomp at Elise.
Oh no! Elise!
I guess we're having to fight. And
apparently so.
Now, Elise is like the equivalent of flat-footed here because she hasn't gotten to act yet to do defenses, so she does not get to defend here.
Oh, fun.
All right. This first one is going to roll his attack.
Ah.
And they get just one success, which Elise is just going to suffer as damage. And then the second one is going to make his attack. And this one gets one success as well. And Elise will suffer another damage. Now, this is physical damage, so this is going to her health. She could choose to take in condition. She's not yet. One of these is going to charge up at Will and chomp at him. And Will, you were also kind of caught off guard here. This thing reacted quicker than you were able to react. So this one against you, Will, is going to get 2 successes. So you can choose to... it's going to be 3 damage because it does count as having a weapon on this shark. So you can either take 3 damage to your health, or you can choose to split some of that damage into physical condition.
One of my blessings is called martyrdom. Anytime the innocent me takes 3 or more damage on a single attack, you may add 1 Pantheon die. Emboldening their comrades.
Look at that.
Come to the rescue. Oh!
I mean, yeah.
Really hurt.
All right, production, if you would, add a Pantheon dice.
Okay, there you go. There's a Pantheon dice.
All right, and then are you taking the damage straight, or are you going to take any physical conditions? And in fact, I'll let you look at that for a moment while I roll for the other goblins.
Let me look at that for a minute.
This one right in front of you, Noelle, is going to just do a front flip off of its shark past your head. It doesn't look like it's going to attack, and it just screams right in your ear, this ear-piercing scream, "You're too tall!" And you hear that in your head. It's going to spend a shard, and you just hear that echoing nonstop as if it keeps saying it right in your ear. "You're too tall! You're too tall! You're too tall!" And it just starts to grate on you because it does not stop. It is so loud. And this is going to give you the Angry 1 condition.
Joke's on him. I was already angry.
Now, this doesn't... it gives you a -1 to any mental checks you make, and then it takes one of your 4 condition slots. And then it's going to, as its quick action, burrow under the sand, come up behind its shark, and hop back on its back.
Okay.
And then these two are going to charge you. Maybe. All right. Now, you have a block up, correct?
Yes, a brace and a block.
Okay. These are charging you. So let's see. I'm learning alongside everybody as well. Let's see the quick
Any successes
defense.
gained on the defense check over the attack count as damage normally.
Okay.
If an attacker uses sprint toward the defender.
Okay, and they are using sprint. Cool. So here we go. Go ahead and roll me 2 of your block checks. Now, the first one will be normal. The second one's going to be at a -1 because each additional defense you take gets a -1 penalty.
Okay. Block check, fighting, and speed. Okay. Oh, no, I don't need Pantheon dice. It'll be fine. Okay, I got 1, 2, 3 successes.
I got 4 successes.
Dang.
But what is your...
I feel bad because I didn't realize might is so useless in combat. I should have made it fighting.
You can make it fighting. We'll just say
Can
you made it fighting.
Can we retroactively say it's a +4 to fighting, the thing that we were doing, as opposed to
Yeah.
might, the thing that we don't use unless we grab a shark?
Absolutely, yeah.
Cool.
Let's do
I
it.
take it
So
all
that
back.
would have added to my
4 more dice,
block.
please.
4 more dice. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Fighting is actually +4. I apologize. I didn't know what the skills were.
Hey, it's our first combat. We're
That gives me
figuring-
one
No.
more success. So 4 successes to your 4 successes.
Excellent. That means that you negate all of the damage, which
Aha.
means they don't get their bonus for a weapon. So if you're armed and you have a weapon, you deal 1 additional damage, but you have to deal some damage to trigger that. So
Okay.
you negate that first one, and then my second attack, I got one success. And
Okay. Sorry. Let me
you-
roll that one.
Yeah, this one will be 1 less dice.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it gonna be so many dice?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Only 2
Only
successes.
2 successes.
That's enough.
Oh,
right.
okay. Good.
All right, you got chomping sharks jumping at you and biting, but you're able to avoid any harm from that. And that is the
Did
goblins.
that damage them because they sprinted up? You got 1 more defense success?
I didn't get any successes over there. Oh, on this last
They got-
one, how many successes did
Yeah,
you
they
roll?
got 1 and you got 2.
That is an interesting question. I don't think you can. I don't think you damage back. If you get a boost, you do. But I don't think you just deal, like, if you get 1 more success and they got attacked.
I thought that was the wording of
Any
brace,
successes
quick.
gained on the defense check over the attack count as
Oh.
damage normally.
Oh yeah, okay. That sure
Because
does
of the
then.
brace and because of the
Yay.
sprint.
That's so cool. Okay. That's gonna be 1 damage to that puck.
Haha.
And that was this one right here. So
Yeah, I like as it goes by, I kind of like shove the shark out of the way and slash at the puck as it goes by, and I lick the blood off of my talon.
stupid sparkling. All right. That is it for the goblins. Will, you're up.
Cool. So real quick, I took the 3 damage.
Uh-huh.
I guess a quick clarifying question. I
Uh-huh.
can choose to take a condition or many condition for each damage, or
Yes, that's a good question. So conditions. You have 4 condition slots. Conditions can stack up levels. So like you can have the same condition up to level 5, and you can't have more condition levels than 10. So basically conditions can soak up damage up to that limit. So if you wanted to start bleeding instead of taking direct damage, you could take bleeding 3, or you could take 1 damage and bleeding 2, or you
Okay.
can take any combination you want, as long as you don't have your 4 slots exceeded or your 10.
I want to do this. I want to do the injured condition.
Mm-hmm.
I think it just deprives me of like a limb or something like that, if I'm reading that correctly.
Yep, you get to choose. So where is it biting you?
This thing, I mean, they're kind of dog. It's a calf shot. And so I'm gonna take 2 slots of that of injured.
Okay, so you got injured. So injured leg 2,
Okay.
and that's notable as well as with injured, you can injure different parts of your body, but they are separate conditions.
Oh,
Okay.
fun. So you could your 4 conditions could be all limbs completely
Yep.
ruined.
Yeah.
Injured leg 2, and then I took 1 point of damage for health, and then we got that Pantheon dice.
Yeah, look at that.
And Will, kind of freaking out here a little bit. I'm going to activate a manifestation as well, and tell me if this seems reasonable. I have the puppetry manifestation, and my intent here is just to turn off the sharks. They're mechanical. Maybe they've got some little wired or unwired connections, and he's just gonna try to turn them off remotely.
Yeah, so you could probably make that with a
so it says puppetry plus. What's that?
You can probably do that with a marionette, which is take temporary physical control of a target of your domain.
Marionette.
Which is puppetry plus perform.
Perform. Let me see. There might be another thing I want to actually try here.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not much of a perform. I'm not anything. This is what I'm going to do instead. Freaking out, he notices that on some of these sharks, they've got their Bluetooth music players connected to them. Scanning through their players quickly, there's like this rave music, and he transfers using the transfer. He transfers some cool jazz, something he loves listening to, kind of in this attempt to distract and deprive them of like their rage.
Oh yeah, they got hard metal playing on these sharks.
Yeah, so I'm gonna do, if that's all right, transfer. So puppetry plus tech.
I love it.
Giving me puppetry is a 2 plus tech is 2, so that's.
And then
4,
you are within the territory of Cairn's residence, so you get +1 to your manifestation checks.
Okay, so we share a playlist that I immediately pull in.
You and Cairn's music.
Yeah, that's +1. You said +1 or +2?
+1.
So that's oh boy, there's a lot of adding here. That's a 4 or 5. Can I throw in some? I'm gonna throw in some Pantheon dice. Why not?
We've got plenty.
Chuck them in, baby.
So let's give me let's take this up to a nice round 6, 7.
Love
Take
it.
2 Pantheon dice. 7. All right, here it goes. All right, D10, 7 of those babies. Going for broke here. We've got 2.
2 successes. All right.
So I apply those. Okay, I'll go back to the chart here.
Now, for the players who are watching, if you haven't played this game, when you get your successes, we have several tables like area affected, duration, damage. You can change modifiers. So I imagine you're probably trying to take a modifier here to distract them, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. Do you want to just are you trying to lower their combat skill, a specific skill?
You're right on. It's going to be anything that's going to bite me skill.
Okay, I love that. So that'll be all around combat, which will be now you can do 1 success they'll get a -1 to it.
Okay.
If you want it to be the sharks specifically, you could do 2 dice because you're giving a specific skill. That would be their fight. And then, yeah, you can split. You're going to need a duration for this one, right?
Yep. So I have a duration. So I put one success in duration and 1 success in modifier.
Awesome. And then
Does that seem reasonable? So it says, I'm looking at that right. So 1 scene is the duration.
Yep. And then you need targets or area, and you could do 1 small room or area with 0 successes. So you could have this just be a pulse where you're killing the music, right?
Well, we're transferring some better tunes for Will here. Yeah, so that would probably just be this immediate goblin next to me then.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all. That's what it is.
Awesome. And then did you want to spend any fragments to get 2 more successes, or are you good with that?
Fragments, man! Holy cow! Yeah,
no,
why
right?
not?
There's so many little mechanics in this game. Once we get them, it'll be smooth.
It is, yeah. It takes a little getting used to, but
So I can spend up to 2 or just I have to
So
spend
one
2?
fragment gives you 2 successes. Not more dice, you just get 2 successes.
Yes. Okay. So
Or
what
you
we're
can
gonna do...
also use Pantheon dice, I think, to modify a roll if any of them were close to a success.
Oh boy. I'm going to use a fragment and I'm going to increase the area affected. So it says 1 building. How many goblins does that get?
Yeah, so you could do an area for 0. This is a small area. The problem with that is then you would be affecting your allies as well.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. Oh, because I can set... Well, they'll do target then.
Yeah, we all hear the jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, target's good. You put 1 success into target, you can get 3 specific sharks.
Yep.
There we go.
Or
So
if you do a fragment, you could do 2 successes and get all the goblins.
all the sharks. Every single shark.
Every single shark is the jazz turns on. And it's little saxophone, little piano. There we
Okay.
go.
I love it.
And my defensive, I will continue to go like this. What is that?
A dodge, probably.
Okay.
A block, probably a dodge.
Yeah, dodge. Good.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, the goblins all start freaking out. They start pounding on the sharks, trying to get the music to change. And all right, that's it for Will. All right, Elise is going to go. And she looks very panicked. Everything just erupted. Oh, heavens. And she's going to take her purse off of her shoulder, her now very ripped arm. And she's going to use her quick action to quickly dump out her purse. And there is just a ton of change in there. Just a ton of quarters, nickels, dimes.
Do some allomancy.
Yeah, she's going to say, "Get away from me." And she is going to use her standard defense, actually, to activate a power. And she is going to do an Aegis on herself. And she's going to beckon these coins to start swirling around her, kind of like in a shield. And let's see what she has got here. All right, she's got 2 successes. She is just going to target herself for the duration of a scene. And she is going to give a modifier of... she'll just give it... she'll spend one of her fragments. And she's going to do a -2 to combat against her. Of any combat action. So that'll be -2, anybody targeting her. And then as her standard action, she is going to, as she dumps out her purse and all the coins drop out, you also see a very fancy little gold and white 9mm drop out on the sand. She's going to pick that up and start pointing it at the goblins. "Get back! I'll shoot, I swear!" And that is
golden gun?
A gold and white 9mm gun. All right. At the end of the round, now this map isn't true to the exact scene here. You guys are kind of by a street and some shops over here to the east. So as you guys are fighting, and you can see the limo off in the distance, you hear the screeching of tires, and there is a big truck that just comes crashing into the back of the limo. This truck is a big, tall, white pickup truck that is towing a big cattle trailer behind it. And you can see the limo just crunch and lurch forward. And the cattle trailer, the back of it just drops open. And you guys see this very large, bull-headed man-type creature stepping out of it. And it steps out of the trailer. It's got a big old battle axe over its shoulder. And still, even when the car crashes, nobody reacts. This is very strange. There's something odd going on with the people. That's obvious to you guys. This Minotaur is going to point at Elise. "I'm here for you."
Oh, no.
And that is its turn. Andrew, you're up.
The hell have we gotten ourselves into? It's a freaking Minotaur. I don't know what we're doing here.
Now, you guys will be familiar with what Minotaurs are. They're powerful beasts of legend.
Hey.
They used to be quite violent back in the old God Wars a very long time ago in History of Gods. And then they kind of mellowed out. But recently, in like the past decade or so, they've gotten pretty violent again.
Hey, this one does
Something's
not
been
look very,
refueling their rage.
very mellow. I wouldn't describe this one as mellow at all. All right, so I'm thinking this is a bit of a situation of like punch a goblin and then we need to start thinking of an exit strategy rather than a Minotaur fighting strategy. So at the very least, though, this turn, this is a goblin punching turn.
Andrew, do you see that? Am I the only one seeing this?
No, I can see it. There's a big friggin' Minotaur. So I don't know what you've done to annoy the wait.
I haven't done anything.
Well, I mean, it at very least thinks you've done something. So I think maybe we should get out of here. I'm gonna punch this goblin in the face, make some room, and then maybe we should start to leave. But this
She
turn
looks
is
terrified, and she nods in agreement.
She should be. All right, this turn is all about punching a goblin. So I'm not going to be running or doing anything because I would should get these goblins dealt with a bit. So I'm going to do a quick action feint to try and increase my attack. I'm going to do a standard action punching a goblin straight in the face. And then
Okay.
I think as defenses, I'm really just trying to, I don't know, just like defend myself, right? Keep the maybe the block going instead. That's the plan. So I'm going to start, shall I?
Let's do it.
Feint is fighting and deception. I'm just like, whoa, come here, you little green thing. Or just doesn't know where I'm coming from. So I'm rolling fighting and deception. And if I succeed at all, I get a +2 to my next attack.
Excellent.
So I'm rolling fighting, which is actually 5 because of my bonus, and deception, which is 1. So I'm rolling 6 dice, and I want to get a single success.
Excellent.
All right, here we go. Boom, boom. Let's go. You can't get me. Ooh, I got like 4 successes,
Woo!
5 successes, 6 successes. That's
All
insane.
right.
Like, that's too many successes. What a waste, because it just gets me a single +2.
That does give you a
I'm-
boost, though.
Nobody. Oh, it does give me a boost.
Yep.
Oh, boosts are new. We haven't had a boost yet. A boost, there's a couple of effects you can get, right? You do a skill check, you get a boost.
Yeah, that's how I dug the thing up subtly. Although now I'm realizing
That's
it maybe
right.
didn't need to be subtle because no one is paying attention to these goblins.
Yeah, right. I don't need area of effect. I don't need. I can get like.
You could
extra
do area of
info.
effect. Couldn't? What if you could hit multiple
Well,
goblins?
it's just increasing my individual
Oh.
attack. So it's like, I don't think it makes any.
For area of effect,
doesn't
I
make
would
any
let
sense.
you give that bonus to somebody else.
Oh, that's a bit of fun. All right, I'll spend my boost on, giving Elise the same sort of symptoms. She gets a bonus if she wants to do another attack, right? Because they're both focused on me. Like the herd goblin doesn't know if I'm about to jump at him, so I'm like, whoa, here, and they're both watching me because they both feel a little bit threatened. So that's the boost. Area effect. She gets a +2 on her attack as well.
Okay.
Perfect. And now I'm going to roll my attack, which is just a normal. I'm just like ducking under. I'm just trying to like throw a big uppercut from below this shark-mounted goblin, and that's just fighting plus speed, I believe. So let's roll fighting plus speed.
Excellent. And remember your bonuses for you made your warrior.
Yes. So my fighting is 5,
Excellent.
and my speed is 2, so 7 for this one.
This
All
thing
right.
tries to get the mechanical
Plus
shark
29.
tail around to block. It's got 2 successes on its defense.
I don't even know how to roll 9d10. It's not even on my list. Stops
You can do
attacking.
/roll space 9010 if all else
I'm gonna have to
fails.
go /roll 9d10.
I can increase that dice roller for next session as well.
Oh, look at that. I get 1, 2, 3. I get a 1. Does that detract from my successes?
Nope. If you get
Right.
no successes and a 1, then you crit fail.
Well, too bad. I got 3 successes.
3
so that's 3
successes.
successes. Just bang!
Yeah,
Wow,
how do
that's a
you
good
just devastate and destroy this puck?
It's just, I'm coming in, right? It's the feint. I'm covered in high. He runs up, big overhand thing. The goblin ducks. So do I. Come up underneath it and straight under the chin. Goblin flies up off the shark lands on the shark. Shark explodes. There's shark everywhere. Goblin bits. Yeah, I don't know, but definitely right up off the thing. Lands back on top of the shark.
This one screams at you. You killed Gree.
Well, go
Oh.
home then. I don't know. Get out of here. If you don't want to die, go back into the sand. This was your fight.
I'll eat your spark.
Oh, I'll eat your spark.
All right, what you
And the
got for your
soundtrack
defense?
to all of that was some cool jazz.
And my defenses, I'll roll my defense as well, right? I don't think there's a good quick action.
You don't have to
defense.
roll it. You just choose it and then you roll. if you
Yeah,
get attacked.
I'm blocking. Maybe I'll brace as well. Maybe bracing doesn't make any sense. I'm blocking.
Okay. And if you don't do a quick defense, you don't take your consecutive penalty for the first or for the second attack that you.
Oh, sweet.
defended.
Then that's what I'll do. I'll just
Cool.
chill.
All right, Noelle, you're up.
Noelle turns her attention to this Minotaur, and as Andrew is saying, maybe we should think about an exit strategy.
Just saying.
She mutters, "I don't know. I've never tried Minotaur before."
Ugh.
And
It does look tasty.
it does look tasty and huge. That's a lot of Minotaur. That could go a long way. This mock ability, Chase.
Mhm.
What's like? Is that a standard action? I assume.
Yes, it is.
Okay. And can you remind me what the like check would be?
Yeah, let's see here. So it uses perception, and then I think it is. Yeah, it's perception plus whatever you think you want to use to try to mock them. If you want to try to intimidate them, you could do like might plus perception. If you wanted to
Got
try to
it.
do witty, you could do, I don't know. Yeah. Make me a case for how you're mocking them, and we'll combine them together.
Okay. I will think about that. Sorry, that was That was a false lead. I
No,
don't want to
you're
do that
good.
right now. This Minotaur's focused on Elise, right? Does
Yeah, he pointed at her, and he looks like he's getting ready to charge her. He's doing this scraping bullfoot thing.
okay. Then I'm going to. Okay, I'll take
Yeah.
one standard action. I'll take a cheap shot at one of these pucks before I disengage here. So first I'll just attack as normal. And that's fighting and speed, right?
Yep.
And then I've got a +4 to that. Thanks, Andrew.
Yeah, pow. Fighting, speed.
A lot of dice for me. Okay. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Three
I got
successes.
there.
Let's see. This thing's gonna block or not? It's gonna block with the tail. One less because of Will's changing the music. It's only got one success, which means you're gonna do 2 damage.
And I have
but also
brutal 2 talons.
brutal 2 talons. So that
So
means you're
I
gonna
do
3
3
extra
damage.
damage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3
How do
extra
you just destroy this
Damage.
thing?
They're probably like, trying to. I'm like batting them off with like one arm as I'm looking at this Minotaur, and then I turn back, and I just slice one of them, just like I just shred one of them in half, and I'll do the one in the middle, just to, I don't know, scare the other 2 or something. So slice this one. Actually, no, because I want to leave. So I want to slice the one right here in between me and the Minotaur. And
Okay.
then I'm going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I want to get right between me and Elise, or the Minotaur and Elise. I want to get right in his charge path.
Okay. Excellent.
You should never be in the
And,
charge path of a Minotaur. That's like rule 1 of being a god.
And then I'm going to brace. Because that seems like maybe what he is gonna use. And then my standard defense, I guess. I guess I'll just use block.
Yeah,
Block,
you get a huge
you're gonna-
bonus to block. You may as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes the type will like if you dodge, sometimes like if you want to stay there and like stop him, block would be more relevant.
Yeah,
than
yeah. I don't
dodging.
want to dodge out of the way.
Yeah.
I look right at him and I just smile, and again just sort of lick the goblin blood off of my talon as I get ready for his charge.
Excellent.
Now,
And I
it's-
feel the
it's
need to
not-
remind you that you still hear in your ear, "You're too tall. You're too tall."
Yeah, that's to mental though, right? Or it's
That's-
penalty to mental.
Yep.
Mental checks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just reminding. I just
Yeah.
it feels
Noelle doesn't
important.
care. Her brain's off right now. Her stomach is on.
It's not mechanically sound, but it would be fun if you took your sash off, turned it into a red cape, and put dodge as your defense action as the bull charges at you. I'm just
I
saying.
love that.
It's worse mechanically, but it's more fun.
That is a really cool.
If Andrew were in my position, that is what he would do. I think.
Excellent. All right, it is the goblin's turn. This one over here, the gray one that initiated the fight, looks pretty frustrated. He's still smacking his shark, trying to get the music. He looks over at the Minotaur. All right, everyone, it's time to roll out. My music's ruined. We kept him here long enough. Let the big boy handle it. And he is going to dig and burrow into the ground, as is this one. As is this one. This one in front of Will is just grinning. This one looks kind of slow. I'm going to get him real quick, boss. And he is going to attack you.
All right.
So,
We'll doing this. That's the block action, right?
yep.
Okay.
So you'll go ahead and roll your dice. It's only going to roll 5 dice here because it is taking your penalty. And that is going to get only 1 success. So let's see what your block can negate. Do you only have the 1 dice for it?
Oh no!
You're muted, Nathan. But also that was a sad nod, so I think the answer was yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. Yeah, you try to defend against this thing, but it's too big, too fast, too chompy. So with it being armed, that's going to deal 2 damage to you.
Okay.
You can choose to split them to conditions, or you can take the damage directly.
Okay, I'm gonna take one. You said 2 damage, 1 of those, and I'm gonna get more injured. No, why not?
The leg, it's just nomming on the same leg.
Injured 3.
Injured 3. I like it. All right. That is its turn. It's doing block for its defense. And Will, you're up.
All right, this is what I'm gonna attempt to do. Seeing as he stayed, Will is going to attempt to disarm him. As he's reveling in his success here, disarm is a standard action that is fighting plus perception, which I'm better at. Is there a quick action that would support that? I guess I could do like feign too, right? Do follow Andrew in a feign, and then
Yeah.
let's give that a try. So here's my feign. Well, gosh, I'm not good at deception, really. Ooh.
And if
You
you
do
fail
have
the feint,
Pantheon
there
dice.
is a negative. Failing the feint gives them a +2 bonus to defend.
Oh, well.
But take Pantheon dice if you want them. We got
Yep.
7. We got 9 cursed.
Well,
Could
then
do
let
the
me.
cursed.
I'll just do Pantheon dice against the disarm.
If you guys are curious, the cursed success on Tori's thing is what brought the mechanical sharks.
You freak!
Those are the
Alright,
kind
I
of things you
can
can
do-
expect with cursed dice.
Okay.
So never
I'm
give
gonna
them again.
straight Disarm. What was disarm? Disarm is a fight plus perception, giving me fighting 1, and no, it's fight plus isn't it intuition?
Yes,
Perception.
is fight plus deception.
Perception.
Perception.
Oh, perception. Nice.
Okay, so
Sorry.
that's 5 dice and grab from the. I'm gonna grab from the pool too. That's
Do it.
right.
Yeah, pull it up. We got 7.
How many? How many is reasonable? Another 2.
Take 3.
Okay, 3 it is.
Bill once told Tori to take 100 dice, so.
Yeah, I'm always up for taking more.
All right, here is 8 dice then.
Ooh, there's a couple 10s. That's 4,
Yep.
5, 6 successes.
6 successes.
Dang.
A disarm. If successful, the target loses whatever weapon, which it's wielding a shark.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you also have 2 boosts to that, actually.
1 boost, of course, will be mounting the shark.
Okay.
Perfect.
And
You could deal the damage with the shark too if you wanted to.
and
With the other boost.
and the last, yeah, and then it's going to be a little chomp back. Yeah, there we go. So how much damage? Just 1 damage?
Just 1.
Yep. And that is gonna just. How do you just eat this thing? It's dead.
Oh no, you killed the
Oh, it's
goblin.
dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Will presses the button to chomp, trying to just give a little nibble, but he just tears it apart and is like, oh my, and he just kind of rolls
Your
away.
scream as a little goblin arm goes flying through the air.
Oh. Looks around to see if anyone's watching, and
The arm flops and hits a guy in the back of the head that's sitting there reading a book on the beach, and he doesn't even notice.
excuse me, sorry about that.
Oh,
And
you're just in my shade a little bit.
good day, sir.
All right. And what do you want to do for your defense? You can block now that you have a shark.
I'm Nathan. I hate defending myself. I'd never defend myself ever. Oh, I'm Nathan. We can't hear you.
Yeah, muted.
I just thought I'd do the ADR. I assume that's what you were saying.
The whole wireless connection, I thought you guys were getting that. I was sending the waves. No one else. Chat, come on. They heard it.
That's
All
hilarious.
right. It's blocking.
All right. That makes it Elise's turn. Elise, seeing all of the goblins retreat, looks towards the Minotaur, looks panicked at Noelle. Noelle, I don't think you can stand there. That's going to hurt very badly. Do I shoot it? She looks at Andrew, kind of panicked.
I mean, yeah. You know what? Yeah, shoot it. That's a great idea. I was gonna say no, but maybe actually this is the perfect time to shoot it.
No, I have to help Noelle. She's gonna get herself killed.
You help Noelle.
I'm
you shoot it.
fine. This thing is after you. Get out of the way.
She's gonna reach into her pocket very shakily. She looks like she is not used to combat. She is afraid. She's shaking. She reaches into a little pocket that's hidden on the side of her dress, and she takes out a wallet and she empties it out with her quick action. And just a bunch of bills, so many $100 bills, 50s ones, go flying around the sky. And then she's gonna do a manifestation, and she's gonna kind of try to look a little confident at the Minotaur. Don't you dare hurt her. And she's gonna do a Gaius, which is she's gonna curse this thing. And she is going to, well, let's see how her roll goes first. All right, she got 1 success. She's gonna spend another fragment, which is her second one she's spent,
Yeah, but
to
who
give
cares?
herself 2 more successes. And she is gonna affect its fighting, and she's gonna put the trigger. Let's see, trigger is going to be 1, so if it attacks Noelle, and then she's gonna give it a -2 to its attack, and it's going to happen for a scene. Those will be her 3 successes. And the dollar bills just start kind of swirling above the Minotaur like a cloud.
Perfect.
And that is, and then for her quick defense, she is going to brace, and then she's going to look very nervously at Andrew, and she's going to look like she's going to get ready to dodge if anything happens. Let's see, I need to add this to the bottom of initiative. So it's actually going to be the Minotaur's turn. All right. This Minotaur is going to look at Noel. It was scraping its foot, looking at Elise, and then you go stepping in front of it, Noel. And it's going to use its quick action. It's going to just chuckle to itself, bellow up to the sky. What are you doing, you little peacock? This isn't your fight.
I just made it my fight.
All right, well, I'm gonna make you regret it real quick. At least you won't remember it wrong. It's gonna charge at you. And I am going to use some curse dice here.
Huh?
I'm gonna dump 5 of them.
Ah!
Okay.
Either we use them or you use them, right?
I need to roll defense, right?
Yep, you get to roll your defense here. I'm trying to see how many dice this thing's gonna roll. It's a lot.
Don't forget your +4 from my thing.
Yes.
Ah! That's too many. There's like 1,000 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, I got 8 successes here.
Okay.
Why did we agree to fight this thing? I thought our plan was to run. It was a better plan.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
6 successes, dang.
5, I think. 1, 2.
5
I got 2
successes.
10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
All right, that means now 3 gets by. This thing does have a weapon, so it's going to be 4 damage coming your way. You can
Okay.
take him to health, or you can take him to conditions.
And I have armor.
So it's going to be 3.
3 damage.
Armor 1, I imagine, right?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yes, it is
Cool.
armor 1.
You take 3 damage then.
Okay. Guys, I have 10 health. So,
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I mean that was a
fine.
pretty impressive
Don't even
stop.
worry about it.
Just comes charging with the axe. I mean, what does that look like when you take a big old battle axe? Do you?
well, I put my hands up and I catch the axe in my talons, and I think it sort of scrapes against my talons and like clips into my hand, you know. But I just like press farther into it and smile, and my teeth are all like still sharp goblin. I think there's probably blood on them. And I say, "Oh great, my food came to me."
It looks like pretty intimidated that you just withstood its attack. And it snorts and starts pulling its foot back, and it's gonna use its defense. And Andrew, you're up.
All right. Will, maybe we can like distract this thing. Do you want to go and try and steal its car? Like it came here in a car. Maybe it wants the car back. Like if we get Elise into the limo and maybe steal its car, we go both ways. We get it. Like I don't think it's gonna stay and try and fight Noel, right?
Andrew, I'm riding a shark.
All right, that's very cool. You do whatever you want then, I guess. I'm gonna try and get Elise to a car, so at least we can split its attention. I think that's probably the best way to help.
Yep.
All right, I'm out of here. I want to try and move, but like I kind of want to like assist Elise in moving as well. Like I don't know if there's set rules for that, but I want to try and get Elise to the cars.
Yeah, you can take her with you.
So that's the plan. Maybe I don't know. Like I can move, but have my
She'll
standard
just
suit
use her
taken up
she'll
to
use her
drag.
quick action to go with you. So she won't get a quick action on her next turn since you're moving her with you.
Cool. Well, let's move together. My movement is, if for anyone playing at home, my movement is 10. So I'm going to try and do that. Is
Yeah.
it like sprinting as a separate action, or can I?
Yeah, you can do a standard. You can move 3 times your speed.
Sweet. I'm going to do that. I'm just trying to get to the car with her.
Okay, excellent. She'll go running with you, and she looks back as she's running with you. Andrew, why does nobody seem to notice this is happening?
I don't know. I thought at first it was because goblins are like little tricksters, and maybe they have some kind of like thing going on. But like, who's not going to see a minotaur, right? Like,
No, something's off.
something is very strange. But I think that's like a future mystery rather than like a current concern. At
She
the, at
nods.
the at this point, we just we just count our blessings that no one else is getting caught up in this, and we go. So I don't know if this limo's going to work, but we'll at least try and find out.
She nods and sprints along with you,
All right.
and you'll get to
and
over here, which is practically to the street over here.
Beautiful. We're heading to the cast because, like, I think the Minotaur hopefully will follow us, rather than focus on killing a bird.
Excellent. All right. Noelle, you're up.
Okay. Does it seem like the Minotaur is still focused on me?
When they go sprinting past it, it glances back at Elise and then snorts towards you. It looks like it's torn.
Okay. I want to try and goad this thing into staying here, because I don't want it to go after Elise. So I'm sorry, Andrew, but we're kind of working against each other. Well, I guess not entirely. It's good that you're getting Elise out of here. I don't want to grab him because I'm not as mighty. I guess I'll just attack him. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just
Yeah.
making
right.
sure there's nothing else I want to do.
Do you have a crazy manifestation to do? Summon 100 birds?
I could manifest something.
Get us
I was
a really
actually
big bird that'll carry us away. It's just save
well,
me.
actually, Chase, I did have a question. What does it take to summon my vassal? Like, how does my vassal come?
Yeah. So you now typically you would have to spend a strain or a fragment to have it accompany you. Now you would have to decide that ahead of time, but since your vassal is a bird, you could use a manifestation to bring it to you.
I see. Okay. Yeah, sure. I'll summon. No. I want to eat this guy. I'm going to attack him.
All right, let's do it.
Sorry for all that. I'm gonna just
We're
attack
getting the
him.
internal monologue of Noelle.
Yes,
Great.
we are. It's more like the internal monologue of Tori and then Noelle being like, "What are you doing? Just attack the Minotaur." Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Okay, and this got 1, 2, 3,
I will-
4 successes.
Okay.
That's like 3 damage. If that was an attack, I can't remember.
It
Yeah.
would be 4 damage, right?
4 damage, yep. Now this thing does have 1 armor, so you do 3
Okay.
damage to it. And this thing just takes it straight to health.
Am I
You cut it pretty good.
Can I guess I attacked with my weapons. What would it take to get a bite out of this thing?
To get a bite would be the equivalent of grabbing it.
Got it. Okay. I will not worry about that right now then. Yeah, okay. I've attacked it. I will go ahead and move, like, I will, like, step around it. So now I'm, still in the way.
Okay, so you're clawing it and then, like, swirling around it.
Yeah, I'm very fast too. I think like this is very cliche to say, but like I flit around like a bird. Like I am very, very speedy. So yeah, I slash its face, and as it's like reeling from that, I just quickly step around to its backside. I think I'm just saying, Noelle's just saying stuff like, it's gonna be so hard to decide which part to eat first. What do you think? Your arms, maybe?
I haven't had someone this feisty to fight in a long time.
All right, and then I will. I guess I don't want to brace because he's right up in my space. I don't think I have a quick defense. Then is that okay?
Yeah, that's, if you don't have a quick defense, additional attacks you won't take a penalty on. So, or the first additional attack.
Oh, okay. So I'll just block.
But you don't always have to take one. So
Cool.
all right, Will, you're up.
Excellent.
You're on a shark, and you see your friends running past a minotaur.
Yeah. Does it have any particular speed advantage?
Yes. Yeah, you will actually move 20 on that thing.
Great, because I usually move 6.
Yeah, no, you're cruising on that thing.
Hit the little rev button, and that'll be my quick action. I'm gonna go join up with. Is that 5? Is it? So it's just. Yeah.
Yeah, if you do your standard to sprint, you can catch up all the way with Andrew and them if you wanted to.
Yeah, I probably should do that. I want to do a little. I don't know if it's a manifestation or not. But would moving just take my whole turn then?
If you want to sprint over to them, it would take everything but your defense.
Then I don't want to do that. I want to move. I want to move a quick action, so that would just be 20, right?
Yep, so that puts you about right here.
Maybe right, just a little further away from that Minotaur.
Okay.
Okay. Trying to veer around, and then I'm going to use my action. I'm going to call an Uber.
Okay.
Again,
yeah,
Will doesn't know what Uber is, but he knows that if he kind of just thinks about it, cars will come to him.
Uh-huh.
Like, well, let's try that. So he's going to kind of like target it there on the road that these two are running to.
Yep. Yeah, that will be a manifestation. That would be, I believe, I think it's a minion that summons things.
I got a beckon.
There's beckon.
Beckon,
Yeah.
that's the one. Yep.
Knowledge
plus beckon. Mm-hmm.
And let's see what those are. A 3 and a knowledge of 2, so 5 dice here.
If you fight the Uber, you get 4 extra dice. Oh, wait, no, you don't.
Yeah.
You were never blessed.
Yeah, I wasn't blessed. So okay, that's just 5. I'll just roll it 5 dice here. And we get 3 successes with that.
Yeah. And that is plenty to summon a car. You can see somebody just pulls in from off of the street just randomly, as if you'd been expecting him. They just come pulling right up, right behind the crashed truck and limo.
Yeah, so I get like a large size ride. So I say,
An
I
XL?
shout to the XL. I shout to Andrew, said, the black Honda Odyssey, ask for Steve.
Steve, there are 3 black Honda Odysseys here. Steve
Waves at you.
Open the doors, Steve. Open the side doors.
Open the door.
All right. And then Elise's turn is going to get skipped because she ran with you, Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
So she will do her defense. And all right. It is coming up to the Minotaur's turn, but somebody is actually going to act in between. You guys are fighting. This Minotaur is squaring off with you, Noel. You guys have probably not been in a conflict like this quite yet. You guys are just feeling the full extent of your power. I mean, Noel, you're going toe-to-toe with this massive creature, and you can see a little bit of worry in its face. But all of a sudden, out of nowhere, everything just seems to go quiet.
No, the god of quiet.
Everybody on the beach turns and just looks at all of you. They look at Noel. They look at Will. They don't seem alarmed. Some of them start whispering and snickering and shaking their head in disappointment. And you just feel like the entire beach is just looking at you with these judgmental stares. From over by the street, you guys are kind of near the crash, Andrew and Elise. You see an old man just kind of calmly stand up and start walking towards you. He looks like this. Looks friendly enough, little purple bow tie. Slowly stands up and starts walking towards all of you. He meets eyes with you, Andrew, and when he meets eyes with you, as another deity, you know this is a god of some sort. You can sense his spark. And he is going to use a legendary act. And when somebody uses legendary act, this is going to disable this option for all of you. And when he starts walking towards you, he gives you just a very gentle smile, Andrew. And all of you just suddenly feel crippled with exhaustion. You feel all of your power just exit from your bodies to the point where you feel like when you were mortal before you received your spark, and you haven't felt that way in quite some time. And it's like the sensation where your whole body just feels heavy and sluggish, and you almost don't know how to function. You all topple over to the ground from the sudden sensation, including Elise. She has the same reaction. This old man comes walking up, stands just above you, Andrew and Elise. And Andrew, you feel like you can barely even move. He looks over towards the Minotaur and shakes his head. You need to stop this, Amrin. She's going to kill you. She's a formidable one. He kind of snorts and looks down at her. This you're doing? He nods. It is taxing me quite intensely. So let's get the job done and be done with it. Now just kill her first. Not this one. Hurry, please. And he's gonna nod. And the Minotaur is gonna come stomping over to Elise. And just a big, crumpling, stomping body comes tearing over you, Andrew. And the Minotaur is gonna look down at Elise. She just looks terrified looking up at it. And it's just gonna stomp a hoof down right in the center of her chest, and you hear this awful crunch, followed by a scream. And her body just goes limp, her eyes go blank. And all of you guys can see this golden spirit in the form of Elise stand up from her body. She meets the eyes of the older gentleman, and she looks panicked and she starts running away. What are you guys doing right now? You feel like you can't really move so well, but is there anything that you want to try to do? We're out of initiative at the moment.
And we don't have our powers, really.
You feel like you have absolutely no connection to your dominions at all. You feel back like when you were mortal. Your claws evaporate away. Your shark just breaks into pieces.
The shark. Yeah.
What is the old man doing?
He's very calmly walking towards Elise's spirit as she's running away. Everybody on the beach is just staring at Elise's spirit and following her as she runs, which is also strange because mortals typically can't see the spirits of dead gods.
I have something wild. I want to try. I don't think it'll work, but I can't really. I'm not like incapable of movement. I'm just very like weakened and like floppy, right?
Okay. Yeah, you feel like you can probably stand up now. It's just you feel clumsy and unadjusted to your old body.
All right. I don't know what this old man is doing, and I don't like him, but I'm gonna try to move. I'm gonna try to see if I can eat Elise's spark.
You want to eat that spark? That's an intense thing to do. That's
Excellent.
what the old man's gonna do, and you're gonna get him, and the whole thing's gonna change.
So she's running by, and you stand up, and you're trying to consume it. You don't even know. You've probably never eaten a god before, I imagine.
No. And just really quick, I just want to clarify. Not that you guys would have any way of knowing this, but like, Noelle isn't actually doing this as like an aggressive thing. She doesn't really know what happens to like the sparks and energy that she like consumes, but she is, and it's instantly gotten bad vibes from this old man and Minotaur, and like don't really know what, can't imagine they have good plans for her spark. So Noelle's kind of seeing this as like better to me than to these like crazy people, whoever they are. So she doesn't, I guess I want to clarify and just say she doesn't feel like great about doing this. but she feels like it's like the lesser of two evils. It's
Okay.
less bad than letting them just consume her or do whatever they're gonna do. I don't know if this will work, but that's what I'm gonna try.
Okay. Yeah, you reach up as she passes by you, and you feel like an instinctual reaction on how to do this. You can't really describe it. It's just like something you know how to do, and you reach out to grab her spirit. Your eyes start to glow gold, and you see this faint little stream start to wisp from her to your mouth. She looks back terrified at you, and you can feel like just the tiniest little spark of energy starting to reignite as you get a taste of this spirit, which is delicious, by the way. It is like the most intoxicating feeling that you're inhaling into your body. But just as you start doing that, this old man who is previously moving very slowly, just at a breakneck speed, charges up and is just going to throw you about 20 feet away down the beach. You just ragdoll. It's like you weigh nothing to him. Which you recognize, gods are fairly strong compared to a typical mortal, and you feel like your strength is still at a fairly mortal level. After he throws you aside, his eyes start glowing, and in a much more practiced manner, you can see by what you just tried to do, he just consumes the spirit. You hear her spirit screaming. His eyes glow a bright gold, and then with a burst of light, there's just a big pop, and then you can see power flowing through his veins. Blood is replaced with like a golden glow for a moment, and then he stands there and he straightens his bow tie, takes out a kerchief and wipes his mouth. Quite sorry about that. You must understand that what I do is all for the greater good. A bit of advice to all of you. You fight very well, but I don't recognize any of you. Abandon those sparks while you still have the chance. You'll regret it if you don't. I'll be sure of it. Let's go. And he waves to the Minotaur, who nods. The Minotaur comes walking up. He meets eyes with you, Noel, as you just got tossed onto the beach. The Minotaur kind of gives you a stern look with like a nod of approval. And then this old man is going to touch the Minotaur's back, and both of them just wisp away. Looks like their entire life force just swirls and dissipates away. As soon as that happens, all of you guys feel your connection to your domain reignite. You feel all of your power come back. You feel like yourselves again. And then, notably, everybody on the beach starts screaming and panicking. People stand up and are pointing at Elise's crunched body. They're pointing at the car wreck, and everybody just looks terrified. And it's mass panic erupting on the beach. What are you guys doing?
Where's that soothing presence of yours, Will?
Well, I was going to say, here's what's weird. When you turned off my power, my internet went out. And when it came back on, it's what your powers come back, and I was like back. I was like, oh my god.
That is
too real.
funny.
So meta.
Well, we're gonna catch you up. Old man ate Elisa's ghost, absorbed the spirit of the god of commerce, and left. And he's a bad guy. He's a big bad villain, so they're probably your pen pal. Eating gods. This is clearly a thing he does. They've disappeared, and now everybody's freaking out. And I don't know.
Everyone's freaking out. Immediate problem is people are panicking on the beach.
You hear people saying, call 911, and just people are gathering around Elise. There's somebody who clearly seems to be an EMT or something who's trying to see what he can do. He just sadly shakes his head. Yeah, somebody looks towards all of you. Did you see what happened?
Will gets out his needlework and is that calm presence on the beach. Okay, look over here. Yeah, look away.
So they're dealing with the crowds?
They're dealing with the crowds, yeah.
I'll try to deal with the EMTs, just like, look, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a reason someone would have a crushed chest on the side of it. Like, she must have been in that car crash. Like, she dragged herself out to the beach. I didn't see what happened. That car just came out of nowhere, straight into it. In fact, if you can run the plates on that car and try and find out where it came from, whoever was driving it got out and they left. They're gone to hit and run. They left the car. They're out. So if we can find that person, that's I think the next step for the police. But please, if you can save her, save her. I know they can't save her. Her spirit got eaten by an old man. If you can save her, save her. I'm gonna try and get that license plate information, and I'd like to try and get license plate information.
Oh yeah, for sure. There is a crashed truck there, right? You can get the license plate. You can note that down. The driver, you guys can vaguely remember. It all happened so fast, but whoever was driving the truck, carrying the cattle trailer, they hauled off in a different direction. They ran off as soon as it crashed. The limo driver seems to be okay. He's actually out of the vehicle, just looking horrified at Elisa's dead body. People do seem to be soothing down a little bit around you, Nathan. There's some people around Will. They're crying on your shoulder, clearly seeking comfort. And as you guys are dealing with that, you guys see a black Impala pulling up from the traffic.
Car or deer?
A car.
Deer. Okay.
A car.
It's a world of gods and monsters. I don't know.
Totally. No, yeah. It comes pulling up just in front of the limousine. And you see this woman here. She lowers her sunglasses and she waves at as many of you as she can see. She tries to make eyes with you. And when any of you guys make eye contact, you can sense she has a spark. And she's waving you towards her.
I'll gather up the injured Will. Come on, let's get out of here. You're muted again, Nathan.
He was just grumbling.
I'll take his arm, like as if he were my own grandfather, and I will escort him off the beach. And I'll like nod to Andrew. Come on.
Yeah, I'll come over. Usually I'd be in a position of trying to help this to see if Elisa's alive, but I know she has been fundamentally eaten.
Yeah,
So
I mean, you
I'm
saw
not
the spirit consumed. You would know there's
Yeah.
nothing that can be done at this point.
So I'll go and talk to this woman. I hope she
Will
doesn't eat us.
also just generally in the area put up like maybe has some touch with like advertising, like as people look at their phones, advertising for like trauma relief will start popping up in their feeds and things.
Lifeline appears.
Love that. Oh, yeah, that's fantastic. And you can see people are looking at their phones. It is a lot of trauma around, and it seems to be soothing as you reach out with your domain. As you approach this woman in the Impala, she rolls down her window and she pointedly makes eye contact with each of you. She lingers for a minute. You can tell she's sensing you, and she's making sure that you can sense her. This is a thing that gods can do. If they make eye contact with each other, they know each other are gods. So you guys as low tier gods don't really know exactly what she's capable of yet, but you do know she is a god or goddess of some sort. And after she makes the eye contact, I'm going to recommend you all get in.
Who are you?
We'll talk about that in a minute, but for now, you got to get away from here.
That's
Yeah, I
true,
think-
but we just saw someone eat another god, so I don't think we're exactly handing out trust right now. Who are you?
Yeah, I'm aware, and I'm somebody who knows what's going on. I have a group who can help, but for now, you're in trouble.
Well, I've got to sit down.
I think
All right,
maybe we should
fine.
in the car.
Do you mind if I get a little blood on your seat?
You can get whatever you need on my seat as long as you get in this car.
Let's get in the car. Let's go.
All right, I'll open the door and help Will in.
Oh no! Even in his wounded state, Will opens the door for you.
Oh my gosh. Will is just like my grandpa. He opens the door and Noelle just huffs, Will, get in. She just like physically like get in the car.
Like you can't even like with all your might, it's like doesn't work. It's chivalry so much stronger. But we get in the car.
We wrestle into the car.
Excellent.
We end up with Noel on one side, Will on the other, and Andrew in the middle, just way too big for this middle seat, going. "Argh!"
Yes.
Excellent. Yeah, you guys get into the car, and she immediately, as soon as you guys are inside, she doesn't wait for anybody to buckle She peels out of that driveway and she hits the road and takes off. You encountered the Goblin King?
Is that who that was? Old man, purple bow tie.
I don't know who the hell he is, but that's what everybody's been calling him. You fight
We're
back?
goblins.
Yeah, we were gonna beat him too.
Oh, that's unfortunate for you.
Will's like drooling in the corner. Like he's passed out because he's so tired.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate you fought back against him. He's dangerous. Now you're on his radar.
Good. I hope he comes back.
Well, I mean, I hope maybe he doesn't come back to anybody. Like,
She laughs. You remind me of me. Listen, I understand the lack of trust. I'm sorry to get you out of there in a pinch. Let's go somewhere private and talk. Name's Alma.
And what's your deal?
My deal is that I'm going to help you. I've got a group that's going to help you.
I suppose that sounds pretty good. Well, like I'm Andrew. Do we say our dominions? I don't spend a lot of time with
Let's
other
build a little more
gods.
trust first, because I'm not ready to tell you mine.
Oh, but I bet I could guess it.
Take a stab at it.
You are the god of well-timed escapes, because I don't know what was going to happen if we stay on that beach for too much longer.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, right. Well, please, like, do you know where? Are you taking us somewhere specific? Do we need a safe house?
Yeah, we're going somewhere specific. You'll see it when we get there. And she rolls down the window. She cranks the radio over any further questions. It's got some nice 80s rock blaring on the radio. And we will fade out as you guys are driving down the highway. And we'll wrap that up.
Will
as
wrestles
necessary.
control of the radio away from her.
Did you do a manifestation? Oh man.
Could
Excellent.
I-
All right.
What? Sorry. Just I want to spend my fragments since I'm gonna get two back. But
Oh yeah.
for the sake of information gathering, this is not
Mhm.
something we have to play out. But while we're driving, I want to summon birds to like look throughout the city for this purple bow tie old man. Like, I basically I
Ooh.
want my birds to be watching. I want a little birdie to tell
Sure.
me.
That's a good point. If you guys want, we can spend excess fragments at the very beginning of the session if you want. Also,
Okay.
if there's like, yeah, if there's anything we can
Cool.
tie
That's what I
on
want to
the
do. then.
transition of episodes, we'll let you spend them right at the beginning.
Beautiful.
Perfect. I'll just make a note of that then, and we can deal with it next time.
Cool. All right. We will wrap that up and call it a session for tonight, guys. Super fun. Thank you, players. Yeah, that was our first combat. There's a lot of rules to this game. We're all learning them. I think we kind of got the flow of it after we did
Yeah,
a
we
couple rounds of
smashed it.
combat, though. You guys were crushing it. I'm not going to use a legendary act against you very often. Legendary acts, for those who are watching, our heroes each get them, and very select important NPCs get a legendary act every level, and it's just they get to do something absolutely incredible. They get to succeed at what they're doing. They take narrative control, so they're very, very powerful. And gods get a limited number of them. So they
That purple bow tie man better hope he never shows up again. Otherwise, I'm gonna legendary action him. See how he likes it.
Excellent. Yeah, it'll be awesome. All right, guys, that was the start of our part-time gods campaign. Thank you so much for playing, players. I would like to let you guys talk about yourselves one more time before we wrap up. Tell us where you can be found on the internet. We'll start with Nathan. Anything you want to comment before we head off for the evening?
Nathan, knightsofasteel.com. Check out our apps in the app stores, wherever you app. And
Fantastic.
fun playing tonight.
Yes, indeed. Fun playing with you and fantastic apps. Check them out. Bill, what about you?
Hey, I'm Bill. Go check out Escape This Podcast for escape rooms, solve this murder for murder mysteries, and play this game _live on Twitch, not Twitter, for playing dumb games. We just finished a playthrough of Call of the Sea, which is a great, fun puzzle game.
It's good content always with Bill. Check it out for sure. Fun playing with you, Bill. Me and Tori and Katie behind the scenes are part of the Level 1 Geek team. Tori, any announcements or anything you want to make before we wrap tonight?
No, just if you guys ever want to send me Taco Bell gift cards so I can nom after the stream too. I'm always open to that.
We do not give worship or redemptions for Taco Bell gift cards. Just kidding. No,
We
playing with you, Tori. Just notably, Nathan will be out next week, and we will have a guest filling in his place. And Nathan, I'll chat with you. We'll make sure we have a smooth transition for Will to be taking care of some business while you're out. But we will be back next week. And then, yeah, apologies. We had a little bit of a choppy stream tonight. We were having some network issues. You know, happens to everybody, unfortunately. We'll try to have it smoothed out for next week. But thanks for bearing with it, everybody. And thanks for tuning in. We appreciate all of you viewers. Thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the bits. Thanks for the chat interactions. Thanks for just hanging out and chatting with us and having a good time. We appreciate it. So I think that's it for us tonight. We'll be back next Monday, same time. Until then, go take a long rest. Go have a little cry for Elise because it's tragic. And we will catch you guys next time. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.